for QCK, and we'll have to see if this is going to come to fruition. Of course, for Kong, he could very well shut it all down here, but it's time now for our first pistol round of the day. So let's go ahead, send it over to your casters. You got Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yes, we're here in Madrid, ready to kick off this game, Tom. The pistol's going to be underway in just a second. Quick thoughts on Loud and EDG before we get into this one, because we've seen this matchup before.
Yeah, and it is 50-50. One team won the first, one team won the second. They have both gone back and forth. We've seen it across the stage. Sadak versus Khan, the sort of faces they've pulled, even mocking each other at times. So I think this one might just get fiery. And honestly, I'm so excited to get into this matchup.
Well, the pistol round is kicking off with EDG on the defensive side here on Icebox, and Loud already making their way up towards nobody. It looks like there could be a fight on his hands, but nobody. Ooh, he spotted them down below. The info's there for EDG, and the opening pick is too, but a trade back as Loud looked to quicken the pace towards this site. Nobody's tucked into the corner, has an opportunity to catch him on the way, but again, just fades back. Nice shot by QCK. The advantage now for Loud, but the players have fully rotated in. And EDG will attempt this retake moments from now when this wall falls, or when they step right on through it. This spans the game for now, and a wide swing from QCK opens up all the space. Loud have got their pistol in the bag.
Yeah, a solid start from them, and kind of what you expect to see on this attack side. I think EDG are going to be waiting to get onto theirs. That was where they had the real success. Of course, this is one of those matchups where I almost feel like teams were playing a bit of chicken when it came down to the veto. Obviously, the initial ban coming through from EDG of Ascent was very surprising, considering Loud have looked shaky, their identity looking a little bit lost, but a map that they smashed them on at Champs, and maybe just having some flashbacks. Then you've also had the removal of Split, and both teams sort of floating Lotus, their permaban, until we end up on the maps we're on. I feel like we've ended, I want to say, somewhat in the favor of Loud. I feel like their map pool just that little bit deeper, but when EDG go into their opponent's map, throughout this tournament thus far, they have been very, very good.
Well, this round doesn't have a lot to speak for, but the flank up by Chichu, the sneaky play on mid. And he had been spotted earlier, obviously, as we saw Sadak take a bit of an engagement with him. So Loud aren't allowing any free space to be taken by that defensive side. The problem here is if they do feel boxed in by Chichu and any potential B pushes, they'd be running into an A stack. We can see EDG have fully stacked up that site. As you can see, Loud are not looking to commit blindly. They've spread back out and found some space.
Yeah, I actually think that that's really important that they go back and get that fight, because it does put the doubt in the minds of their opponents a little bit. EDG were able to stack up on A because they had the information that they had control for anybody rotating back. Even still, though, with 40 seconds left, it does look like they're going to be pushing into the EDG stack, which is probably one of the only ways they could really take any damage in this round.
You know, this is perfect. You've taken down Chichu. At this point, you assume there's someone towards B. They'll hear the Viper wall go up. You don't have control of mid, so the rotates will go towards that side. But there was nobody there from EDG. Everybody's still patiently waiting on A, and now's their chance to get some value. One kill is all they'll get. A big stop by Loud. Even though they run into the stack, they find all the value. The second round, cleanly in their pocket.
Yeah, nice work from them. Just taking their time. Obviously, on the other side of things, EDG didn't really have anything, so I don't think they're going to feel too hard done by the fact that they don't really get too many kills. Now they're looking to invest back in with the rifles on every single player. Now, I do think it's going to be fairly important for EDG to get off to a good start in this series, because we've already seen that a couple of times in their match versus Gen G. They did very well in the early, and then they seem to teeter out a little bit, slow down, and Loud are a team that will punish you if they're able to get off the mark. And this is one of the players we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on. As it was said on the desk, he may not directly be coming in as an Aspas replacement, but when you're coming up against a player like Khan, you need that star power. Already, though, Smoggy off to a flying start. Cow and Zine is dropped, Sova gone. And it's definitely going to make things a little bit more difficult now that you don't have your initiator.
Yeah, one of the things they've been struggling with is QCK getting into sites, and without having a Sova to reveal them up, it's going to be a bit tougher. Now no flank protection either as Sadak falls. This is how these rounds typically go when you slow down the pace. You're not going to win most of the fights you're taking, and in this case, none of them so far. The final attempt will be to group up to make some value out of this lower buy round for Loud. They want to drop a couple of weapons out of EDG's hands, but just look how patient and passive this defensive side is being. They're willing to give up the site control and play the retakes together.
Yeah, they've already got them pretty much boxed in once again. The same push has come through from Chichu. Nice work from QCK though. That'll be Khan down, making this one at least a little bit more competitive, trying to get a bit more aggressive as he's going to go through the utility that has been placed down. That flank is the major danger, but with how far forward they've actually gone, I don't know if there's anybody that can actually be picked off. He needs to go huge from this position, and while it's only going to be the one kill, there comes Chichu in from behind, and Les is left to try and clutch this 1 versus 3. There probably isn't anybody else you'd want, but even he can't win out that one.
Not the end of the world at all. I mean, they get the 2 kills. It's sort of bare minimum done. Housekeeping in a round like this. They didn't overinvest. You know, you said there were some rebuys, but again, fairly minimal considering the lack of losses. It's all right for Loud. This is the formality of early Valorant out of the way. It's sort of weird to not see that 3rd round won. Most of the games we've been covering, Thomas, it's been pure chaos by now, but, well, Paper X game later on. Stay tuned for that.
To be fair, we have been doing China versus Pacific in every game so far, so I think it's understandable why some of these games have gone the other way. Even still, though, this is where things get interesting. QCK has been doing well in the early rounds as well. This means he's already going to have himself Bladestorm and an extra 4,000 credits in the bank, so he's pretty well stacked to go for this early push. Howdong's going to be the one under pressure and almost has to fall back completely. Doesn't have any support, so his main goal is just going to be to delay as much as possible. And for the other side of things, they're just taking their time.
Yeah, rightfully so. Bit of map control, pushing the EDG side out of position, grabbing orbs, and looking for picks. As you said, QCK's had a good time on the way through, a difference from some of the series we've seen, and now he's got the Bladestorm to try and pick these players off. But after seeing that control, grabbing their orb, and not finding any advantages being given away, they're rotating back.
Yeah, I think they had no plan to ever go in this direction. The spike was dropped outside deep on B. There was no one going to retrieve it. This was all an attempted ruse, and when I say attempted, it has worked wonderfully. There's currently only 1 player left on the site, but EDG have made the realization. Pushing players up mid, got nobody deep in control. They've also got Chichu rotating in, but they are about to be under some serious pressure.
It's the right call again. Same thing we've seen from EDG, just a passive play on A. Very confident in their retake game. No big ultis online to help them, and a few shots through the wall that actually hurt Concon. He's down to half HP, a little below. Not going to be ideal for the fight back through. The plant seems to be secured, the cove broken, and a snake bite down, but that's not going to deter them. Now it's time to fight back in, and they've already lost their entry man. Concon down. Kalanzine still in position. The Bladestorm looking to find value. Players up top as well. I mean, Loud are not playing a retake on this. They're not trying to deny the defuse. They're trying to deny any boots on the ground. But they've lost a few fights. 2E's is very low. They've got to be extremely careful here. And with last down, even more so. Sonic dropped, and it's only the 30 HP 2E's left to try and close this round out. Already being stuck to halfway. 2E's needs to time this just right. And the shot is perfect.
क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा?
A little bit dicey in the
Loud.
end. I think that pre-fire shot from Smoggy basically made it interesting. Because up until that point, I was like, yeah, 3v2 post-plan, you've still got less alive. I'm like, okay, I'm not really too worried for them. And then he hits that shot, and it gets very interesting. The thing is, though, I feel like so far Loud have been fantastic with their orb management. They make sure at the beginning of the round that the reason they push B is to get 2E's that orb even, and then he moves back in the other direction, plants as well, so then he's able to actually use the reckoning. So that's what kept them back for so long. That's what allowed Loud to garner so much space. And okay, it gets a little bit dicey in the end, but the fact is they got the round under their belt.
I really like the way we just saw that round play out. As we said, right off rip, Loud had a game plan, and it didn't look like EDG threw any spanners into the works, try as they might. We saw the re-aggression when Loud had gone up on B of Howdong. He got behind yellow and actually had really good spacing in making it there if Loud had been committing. He's been quite good
भाई
at
इनका वो
that.
चल गया जो गेम खेलते हैं तो फिर तो वही है जीत जाएगी EDG वैसे नहीं जीत पाएगी Loud के फंडामेंटल्स के अगेंस्ट बहुत मुश्किल है बट ये हाउडोंग का चल गया ना अगर लॉक वगैरह सब तो बहुत स्पेस बना के खेल सकती है और वही कांग की तरह खेल जा के
Now it's looking like a formality. Not much invested, and more what was invested was actually at least a Guardian onto Khan. Already, though, we're actually going to see that Hunter's Fury thrown in. I guess they really believe they could take this round away from them. Chichu's managed to find another one. Maybe they might be right, but Sadak still just holding down the fort. Smoggy's found one more, Eventually, though, it does look like Loud are going to stabilize. That's a
एक दूसरे
pretty big ult to commit off
कांटेक्ट पे भी नहीं
I mean,
भाई
it's
पूरा
not
वही
even like
साथ
they
में
were
डबल स्विंग ही
already
करेंगे
positioned to have a chance.
उसका वो
They
एक
just
मार्क कर ही
went
रहा होता है जैसे एक लेफ्ट मार्क कर रहा है पूरे टाइम जैसे काउजीन ने मारा फिर उसके बाद ऊपर उसने मारा वही पर कांग को चालू होने में टाइम लगता है पहले मैप पे नहीं करता दूसरे मैप से मारना शुरू करता है वो मैं तो पेपर के मैच के लिए एक्साइटेड हूँ भाई केसी के साथ है पेपर टीम हेरेटिक्स का खेलते हैं
other well-placed utility.
Yeah, at least a lot of ults other than that are coming online. That could be
बहुत
the
अच्छे
reasoning
प्लेयर
from
हैं भाई
EDG
बहुत अच्छे
is
प्लेयर
to
हैं
make this one a bit more costly, have a chance to win the round, and then we've got
मैं कहाँ था
one
कल
online and 3 very close. So it could just be an argument of, okay, we don't actually just want to have them all at the same time and then just spam one round. But yeah, definitely an audacious attempt. Again, though, Loud already 4-1 in the lead. As said, I feel like expectations are there for both teams to have their strengths over on that attacking side. I think that's where we've seen, especially EDG, really when they did manage to beat out Gen.G, they were really good on their attack. And it's where Concom really came alive. That's my major worry, though, is so far in this tournament, going by ACS, going by ADR, going by the most stats that involve kills, Kankan's at the top. Right now, he has 1. Which is not a great sign if EDG are going to be winning this, because there have been serious vulnerabilities. Even games that they've lost, he's still been in the 20+ kills bracket. So I'm a little bit worried for them at this point in time that if he doesn't come online, which I'll be honest, I think he will, but if he doesn't, this is going to be a blitz of a game.
I mean, we saw a good attack side from EDG on this map up against Gen.G, but we're going to need to see them build those foundations here on the defense. So far, it's been pretty lights out from Loud. And the movement towards B, quick. They're making a lot of noise on the way through, but again, it has the same vibe as before. Just look at the dots on the minimap falling back. They've dragged a huge rotation from EDG. There's now 3 players on the B side, 1 close by around mid, and only 1 man standing alone is nobody on the A side. Up on pipes.
Same round, 2 round पहले गया था. Same चीज़ कर रहा है.
He's going to have to commit to this angle in the next couple seconds unless we see him retreat, and well,
कुछ crazy कर दो.
He's going to have to hold his ground and take this battle with the lockdown in play. I wonder what the idea here is. Maybe a flash from afar to allow him to swing. Maybe he'll just go for it. Just the one to be found. That's it.
Kankan आ गया 1 kill पे.
There's a pocket of space. Kankan has managed to
ओए देख 2 मिनट पे बैठे हैं.
But now there's a rotation in the other direction once more. Still a player lurking around this position. Howdong waiting patiently, but he has to be careful that he's not caught out. There are a lot of players pushing from a lot of different angles. He might just, no, he's missed the timing just by a millimeter. That's enough, and actually, G2's now gone down. Again, this round is starting to get really dangerous. There are so many angles he has to be careful of, and Les is going to win that first. Howdong caught in no man's land, and for 4v3, it might be down to just 1. Tui's waiting patiently. Loud have managed to recover from a position that looked really dangerous to making this round look comfortable.
I think they've just had a really, really strong mid-round decision. We had 2 rounds ago where Loud seemed to be in control the whole way through. They had their game plan and it worked perfectly. EDG didn't put them on the back foot. It looked like the same thing here, even with the disruption of nobody finding a kill. Right now, Smoggy grabs 1, but it's too late to get back in to deal with 2. Maybe he can do some more damage, and that may be, well, it's turning to a reality. That's a free kill for him. But even still, the reality is Loud have just gotten away with highway robbery, stealing this out from EDG. It was a close one that EDG might even have had the upper hand in, but they got chopped up into individual fights all across the map just by not having a read on what the hell Loud were trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, because I think for Howdong I can kind of forgive. Like, he ended up surrounded because of where the battles went elsewhere, but every other player ends up alone. Like, not a single one of those fights was tradable, and Loud just play off that. Just position themselves fantastically well, and yeah, the mid-round calls were great, because that initial take for them, even using a lockdown, it didn't go very well. EDG did well, but it's just the way that they play in the mid-round that was sublime. Now 5-1 up over on that attack side. This is definitely looking a little bit ropey at this stage. Kankan's going to try and pad the gap. He has had a quiet match so far. Got his 2nd kill in the last round, but it didn't really matter too much.
Here.
Now his Blade Storm definitely has potential.
Here.
भाई बेट आउट करवा दिया भाई.
This time around, is it? And I think the other problem being that, okay, Chichu might be able to get them back in the next round for retakes. I doubt he's going to be using lockdown here. And there's a Hunter's Fury online for Kalanzine. He's not going to be deploying that anytime soon, I reckon. So there's the safety nets that appear to be forming underneath EDG aren't really there. Damage being done. It actually is keeping Loud's economy pretty low, despite a 5-1 lead. If they lose a couple more players here, it will end up being costly enough that EDG might be able to reasonably force an eco out of this squad with 1 or 2 wins, depending on how investments go. The reality is there hasn't been a lot of hope in these rounds, and this one's not really the one to give us any extra. If Last goes down, it could be an advantage, or if he gets the kill, just 1 away from a Viper's pit, and he's sticking around. This looks like it'll be his fight, and not one he'll win, but that does still get the pit online. Costs you a rifle, but it doesn't give Chicho an orb. He already had the lockdown.
No, again, it ends up actually being fine. Like, Loud may not be keeping these as clean as they'd like, but they're still comfortably able to buy for at least a couple of rounds. Their ult economy, again, has been fantastic. Someone's tripping out. And for the side of EDG, they're already going to be taking their second pause, and I don't blame them, because these rounds, even though, okay, there's been casualties, I don't think any of them have looked particularly close, especially once you get to the second portion of the round. And they need to start getting onto the board, because sure, there's expectations that their attack side is going to be better, but they need to actually have a decent sort of foundation to actually build upon, because let's not pretend like Loud are just going to allow them back into the game. Like, they've got some fantastic players over on their side that, like, you'd bet your house on at least 1 round less is just going to win it. Like, let's be real. He has been one of the best players, I would say, in the tournament, but of the last year, 2 years, like, you could keep going back, he has been up there. So I think at this stage there needs to be a decent change. And EDG in the past, Chichu, there was that interview where he said they really do rely on their coaching staff. They learn a lot, they take a lot. Well, let's hope the second pause is where they get that.
We saw a lot of conversation about Coach Alex's pause yesterday and the impact that it had for Paper X, them going on to win like 11 out of 13 of the next rounds. Maybe that can be the case for EDG here. They don't even need it to be that strong of a statement, just this attack side to at least have some legs. Remember, even the best teams in the world will refer to those pistols as coin flips, and you don't want to be going into that with 1 round in your bank. Big problem for them. It's not like EDG have no ultimates, but Loud can one-up them. They've got the exact same, plus a Reckoning. That could help to root out the Viper's pit. And of course, the lockdown on Chichu, as we said, not really going to be that threatening when Kalanzine's still up.
Yeah, he's probably just holding the Hunter's Fury for that exact reason, so... Already? Oh, no, never mind. No, he wants to kill. He's gunning for blood, and he's going to get it as well. Might even get a tag onto Smoggy, not far away. Nobody's been having a bleak time over on this A side. Smoggy does well, but he has to give it up. The Reckoning is going to force him back completely, and I imagine we're going to see, it's an up-top plant, because they're just going to play this one passive. You want to go for a lockdown? Sure. We're going to be sitting so far back that it's not even going to matter. And I'm also starting to have a look at that rotation coming through from Les. He's looking to backstab them.
He's going to be caught. That's the only downside, but maybe they'll think he's around middle, not up here. No, they're checking it, and he's won the fight with 2 snake bites in a post plant. You'd imagine he'd be setting up for that right now, but instead they're committing more resources with 2Es moving through mid. This is a counter to what EDG just put through. The lockdown used, but their back is now wide open. And as they push forward, Les is doing exactly the same. Snakebite up top just to secure no defuse, but there's no one near the defuse, no one near the spike. In fact, as 2Es is about to realize, swinging into heavy traffic, and you know, it's not nice to have 4 kills in a round and have to go and save, but that's the reality for EDG. 7 now on the board for Loud.
Yeah, this one's going to come up as a Red Bull clutch, but there was nothing even particularly clutch about that. That round was over about 20 seconds ago. Like, Loud came in, again, every single round we're witnessing, they have a game plan. They know what their opponents have. Okay, they've got a lockdown. Let's put ourselves in a post plant that doesn't allow that to work. Let's have Les come round on the flank and basically just put this round to bed with the amount of doubts that their opponents are going to have. Like, right now, this is looking like a masterclass from Sadak and Loud, and EDG haven't yet turned up to the party.
I think that's spot on, Tom. It's been a really rough one to watch if you're an EDG fan. For Loud, well, we talk a lot about the curse of Masters for this team, and it looks like it might be on its way to being broken. 7-1. a strong scoreline, a strong start as they once again, on the side of Loud, push EDG out of control over B-Long.
Do they actually go B this round, or are they just going to take the orb and go back?
No, it's got to be an orb.
See, they haven't left a lurk. I think they're going B.
It could be the Viper's Pit also, you know?
There's no one lurking. It's a B take.
You actually are spot on with that one. Previously, they've always had that extra player behind. This time, it's commitment. But EDG are committing. They haven't played like this up behind Yellow. It hasn't been spotted, but the reveal now gives away the game. That's a disaster for Loud. Or for EDG, pardon. It's a miracle for Loud.
Yeah,
Free as can be.
QCK took some damage, and
yeah,
honestly, that's
it's
a disaster.
over. EDG are going to win the round. Easy peasy. Oh, man, they can't get anything to fall in place for them. Even there, it was a Cloudburst that wouldn't fall in the right spot.
Oh, there we go. The 3 players at this stage might actually just go for this. But, again, Loud's post-plants have been sublime. It hasn't even been particularly close. That knife was nice. It's basically caught everybody. They know where they are, but there's nothing they can do. And Kawazine, he is not looking to be kind. Already spawning out Chichu, an awkward fight. And he is still surviving. Timmy the Turret trying to help out at least a little bit. Looking to reposition, take the fight, and he's going to get rid of Smoggy as well. Just removing the weapons that they're trying to save. Finally, they'll deal with him. But again, the round is over. It's been over for another 25 seconds. They're just looking to fight to hold their guns. That's the game at the moment for EDG.
They are fighting a different battle every single round. Like we saw the previous one, it was on A. They pushed up forward to try and deal with the post plant. Ended up being flanked themselves. Round was over. This time, it's all the whole squad is here to deal with this one Sova lurking in 2.
The funny thing is, I feel like there, Kankan tries to fall back, get pinged by the dart. I don't know if that's intentional, but it seemed like it could have been, because he then gives away, okay, maybe there isn't someone else there. QCK just runs around the corner and headshots him anyway. Like, it made no difference what the plan was.
Get out of my way.
He just domes both. And QCK has been having a much better performance. The setup's been there, let's not beat around the bush. Well, Chichu's at least going to get 1 and no trade. Actually, the high tide kind of helping them out here. Another 1 for Howdong, but Sadak has found 2 in response.
Yeah, Tui's hasn't had the best round with his util there, chopping up the map to stop them from being able to keep control of mid, but EDG took it by the reins. Chichu on the flank. Good position, but Sadak is still up, and he's on his way back, so that util is going to be online. Has to be broken. Now they know. Now they're ready for the fight, and a little closer than expected. It's Kawazine looking to take Chichu down yet again. And on this angle, he's not losing it. Clean shot to the head. Viper's Pit went up and online, and that is stopping any chance of them defusing. Surely, they've got to... Oh, that's actually a nice recon up top. It hasn't caught him, but it's given away that he's there. Maybe the spams can find value. Kankan's got to wait a moment as nobody steps forward. He's dodging the spam, but Kawazine steps in. An unexpected play. Even the Pit dropped in the end for Les to find that kill. Tom, this is looking like a mismatch on Icebox.
Yeah.
EDG's map pick, and they've yet to get off 1 round.
This is a masterclass. Genuinely a masterclass from Loud. It seems like their decision-making has been perfect pretty much all the way through the game. Again, this started off with a decent individual play coming out from Chichu, but then Sadak pops up, they get into the afterplant, and the second that spike has gone down, my belief in EDG winning the round has gone down to about 5%, because it just hasn't even been remotely close. 9-1. We've already seen this happen once when they played Breeze versus Gen G. EDG didn't show up to the party in this map, and it's not looking good. Kankan has been diffed. That's not something I think has been said in his entire career.
Oh, he's been hot this tournament as well. One of the big reasons I was coming in here believing in EDG, but I can't even point to one player not showing up. One piece of the puzzle, the whole puzzle's missing. All I've got is the front cover to think about what could have been. Hopefully we'll eventually find those missing pieces. EDG are searching frantically. It's a Hunter's Fury pulled out of the bag. Not finding its mark just yet. Some damage, but Sadak and Les quickly trade that back. Very few defenders left standing. In fact, now just 1. Smoggy's on all 4s. Howdong tries to get back towards him. Land a single shot. It's Sadak to utterly demolish this squad. I mean, he's been doing it so far with his calling. This time he takes it into his own hands, 10-1.
I didn't enjoy that.
Oh, this is hard to watch.
They used the Hunter's Fury there, and they used, actually, to tell a lie, they used the No Command and the Hunter's Fury, and they didn't even get a kill in the round. I think we've just got to start thinking about map 2. This is not even remotely close to what we were expecting coming into today, and we've already seen in the past the back and forth between Kankan and Sadak, the sniper and the sniper's mocker. And while 2 and 11. Normally, I'm not one to highlight the kill feed. It's not particularly relevant in most games, but when Kankan goes, as said, the #1 when it comes to ACS, ADR, kills per round. He has been up there in every single stat this tournament. Right now, he is non-existent. Howdong doesn't even have any shields here. That's how bleak this is at the moment, and they just can't catch a break. Not even connecting their shots at this point. No one can even hit a bullet. I think they're mentally boomed. I don't even know if they'll get a kill this round. No, it's nothing. It's a flawless round 10.5. Can we just call it there and go map 2?
Switching sides.
I think I might have just got EDG's coach comms there. Was that you or them? I wouldn't blame him. That's a tough one. But you rarely see a master class like this. And you got to say, those first 5 or 6 rounds, it was all Sadak. This guy pushing and pulling the map perfectly for his squad, with his squad. EDG didn't know what to do. In fact, we caught up with Sadak earlier on. So let's hear a little bit from him.
Meu nome é Matias, também conhecido como Sage Hack, e sou o capitão da Loud. Em preparação para esse jogo, eu acho que foi muito mais a gente ter confiança que podíamos virar essa situação na que a gente está. Então, o segundo mapa foi difícil, mas eu estava com muita confiança, sabíamos que a gente podia. Eu sabia que podíamos trazer isso de volta, então pedi para que eles confiassem em mim que ia dar tudo certo.
No secrets about this on the way back through. Sadak just stomping onto site.
But a 1-for-1 trade, the numbers so favourable towards Loud. Guaranteeing closing in, it's all on Autumn. This guy has been a rock star for this side, but a brutal position, a brutal round to potentially go home on. Has he got the heroics in him? He's got so many targets, so many threats. He can't do it!
A gente já se enfrentou no passado contra a EDG, sabemos que é um time muito bom. A EDG em particular é um time que sabe muito bem trocar o ritmo das jogadas. Às vezes ele joga muito devagar, às vezes ele joga muito mais rápido. E isso faz que seja um pouco difícil de ter uma boa leitura contra eles, né? Às vezes a gente ele faz lurker, realmente é difícil. Joga muito bem com o Predator no ataque, então tem uma variedade estratégica muito boa. Para os fãs, amamos vocês, muito obrigado pelo apoio, vocês são incríveis, espero que vocês assistam nós, continuem apoiando nós. Se fica muito cedo para vocês, peço perdão, é o que temos para hoje. E é isso, um beijo gigante, muito apoio para nós.
Well, Tom, Kankan said in the video earlier on that he wanted to strike fear in the hearts of his opponents when they saw his name. Well, they're going to have to look way down the scoreboard to see his name on this map. That is a rare thing. And on the attack side, Tom,
Kick him while he's down.
There's basically no hope. There's essentially no hope. An 11-1 comeback, Mini couldn't even make this happen.
Tough. Give him a ring. See what he says.
Phone a friend? Yes. Or 50-50.
Let's see how good Mini's Chinese is.
I reckon he's a man of many talents.
To be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised.
No.
But here we go, 11-1. It has not been a good start. Still, potential of a turnaround in the next map, and at least maybe some life in this pistol round. They are going to be able to get off to a strong start. Less looking to find one back, so clean with it. They've got to be careful not to let this one slip away. Already looking like it could happen. Chichu eventually will be able to find one. Kawazin, he's very close. And I almost feel like Chichu's tempting fate. They have got themselves in a massively advantageous position, though. An open plant that normally you could only dream of. Multiple positions. Actually, I think the cross maybe missed here. The headshot wasn't even needed, but he has managed to find that first kill.
There's no chance, though. With the time so low, look how far back they're playing. Still with a reveal. You'd have to force one of the fights. Smoggy's already tucked in. At this stage, miracle work needed. 45 HP as well. Nobody cleans it up. And there it is, Tom. They've doubled their rounds. It's a consolation prize for the time being. Oh, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I want to actually see if they can just even build into it on an individual level.
Well,
like
Con needs a warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. This is basically his aim labs before his aim labs. Like, that's what I want to see. Just taking the time to sort of get themselves into a good position, because they've come in cold and they've been shut down by Loud, who have looked fantastic throughout this map. So I think even just a few rounds, getting themselves feeling more comfortable back on that stage, it could be a pretty big deal for the side of EDG. And in this round, as you can see, there's no real safety net. They're just going straight in with those rifles. Chichu won't be the one to invest, a full gamble. But already with the drone giving away where this push is going to be coming in, the full force of Loud will be coming in on the rotation. A few upgraded pistols, but for Sadak, the only goal, slow them down and see if they can do a bit of damage.
What a round it would be to take off them, but yeah, you're right. The goal here is just to drop rifles, run that cost. Boy, giving Con that little boost of energy. He's playing with the Outlaw, waiting for this wall to fall. They'll have some targets. Loud, very patient, but EDG are starting to make a read on this. There's a lot of players around here, some utility in play, and the spike is on its way back towards A, leading the charge by himself. It's a little concerning. If there was still a lurker around A, nobody would have, I mean, he's 68 HP as well. He'd have a serious fight in his hands, but it looks like he might get away with it scot-free. Although, actually, the timing is kind of poor here as he goes through the wall. Kawanzin's waiting. Now the spike's down. There's a rifle there, but it can't be retrieved. Chichu's lurking around mid to catch those rotates, but he's going to be spotted in a second. In fact, spotted now. Now he's stuck, and there's players swinging from all directions. Loud, all of a sudden, are in a 5v3. 12 seconds left as the spike is planted. At least they can breathe a sigh of relief. The clock is now on their side, and the players pushing back in haven't got big weapons. Even the kill they got on mid was just a sheriff, so nothing big retrieved. Kawanzin already fallen. Okay, EDG are starting to get their hands on the reins again. It's back under control. It's not looking too scary, although a couple players are low. The time is ticking. Oh no, it's only one! Con, this is his chance. His aim labs, right? He just needs to hit a few shots, and it's Sonic again! Oh, 12 rounds for Loud, and EDG probably wishing they could have just jumped to the next map. This is more demoralizing.
That was a MasterCard Thrifty.
Was it, Tom? Did they not buy? No, they didn't force buy that?
I think it was 2 ghosts and then classics, and
yeah,
I think they picked up the sheriff. Even the sheriff that he got 2 more kills with was picked up. He didn't even buy the sheriff, Mitch. He didn't even buy that sheriff.
It's okay, because they're gonna map 2, man. They're really good on their opponent's map picks, Tom. Yeah, there we go. Well, fair play.
He's got an Odin in mid. He's got Odin in. Okay, Concon's managed to get 2. Maybe, no, who are we even kidding? Nah. There's so much still that needs to be done. Still 3 players standing for either side. The early battles at least being even. I thought the Odin had a possibility. QCK, neither has spotted the other. Concon is just literally next to both of them. They've all walked past. If anybody turns around, they're just going to see him sat on a perch. There we go. Eventually goes down. Smoggy again has traded, though. It's the players with the weapons. Still, that push-up from Tuiz and obviously the turret no longer online. As they do look to head in towards this A site. The wraparound's coming. You can see less. It's just waiting, watching, buying extra time, even putting the wall up just to slow them down that little bit further. This is all an attempt to try and just give opportunities to his teammates. At this stage, he should know exactly where these players are coming from. The snakebite again, just to make them that little bit weaker as Tuiz continues his sneaky little play around the back. His opponent's none the wiser that he's going to be right up behind them. First kill's free, and he'll close it as well. It has been a map to forget for the side of EDG as Loud come in with one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant performance we've seen in the tournament so far. They are one step away from making it to the top 4.
Nothing but smiles from Sadek up on that stage, and I'd be surprised if I saw anything else. We know EDG are good on their opponent's map picks. No.
Okay, we're going to toss it. I don't want to talk about that. We'll let the desk maybe bring it down after the break.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Hey guys, I am here with SCK from Loud. Congratulations on that first map. Now the team has shared previously that this tournament is very challenging for them, but despite that, Loud has been very consistent with their energy. Who on the team contributes the most to keeping that energy up, especially for very important matches like this?
I think that Sazahak is this guy. He always like have a smile on his face. He always like time to cheer and make it the environment really good. I'm a kind of this guy that always listening music and all of that. So we have a little bit jet lag, but the energy will be growing up because we are happy to be here.
All right, well it certainly looks like that. He really looks like a really happy guy. So let's see if Loud can close this out.
Well, they have plenty of reasons, Mika, to be happy because after a 13-2 trouncing over the Chinese #1 seed, Loud show the world that they are very much here to play and maybe even here to stay. That was, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was just straight up brutal.
I mean, what is going on with EDG? Back to back, they start a map with an 11-1 half against them. They crumbled in that Gen G series. They show up here against Loud, and they look like they are crumbling again. This is not the team we've come to know from EDG. Loud absolutely picked them apart.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the logic that EDG applied to picking this map, by the way, their pick was, okay, we beat Gen G on this map, Gen G beat Loud, so therefore we should be able to beat Loud, but it looked like a rock, paper, scissors. It looked like a rock, paper, scissors kind of situation.
Transitive property, I said process of elimination.
Yeah.
No, I was wrong, you were right.
Neither of us actually pathed 4th grade mathematics.
But yes, like, you can see the logic there, but I can't. There's no logic in that game.
It's not about the map pool. I think they could have showed up to any map and looked like that. It is about confidence. This is a team. You look at their faces. No one is yelling. No one is making noise. No one is giving that energy that EDG thrives on. Think of when this team is at their best. Kangkang is up, standing, screaming. He's shooting an operator at the camera. They're showmen when they're great. And right now they look completely deflated. But we do have to give Loud credit because they did still play a really good game. In particular, that attacking side, I thought that Sidak was calling an absolutely stunning match.
Yeah, exactly. And we picked up a couple of good examples because, Mimi, you're completely right. It's all about that mid-round calling. We know that both of the teams are very, very hard shooters. So it's only on fundamentals and actually the reads on the map that you can win in this matchup. We were seeing that EDG was getting a lot of the kills in some of these rounds, but they are unable to close them up because of the adaptation and the moving around the map that Loud was having round after round. You know, maybe they won 2 rounds, but let's think about the 2 rounds that they won. The 3rd round, right after, Loud is on a bonus, and then Pistol on the 2nd half. This could have perfectly been, this could have perfectly been a 13-0.
Yeah, it absolutely could have. It was just inches away from that happening. But you see in the rounds the variety of the calling for Loud, even when they're losing. They're going for a lot of fakes. They're going for these interesting ideas with the B-split. And I think we have seen that historically when they play this Harbor composition, they really have a lot more kind of adaptability than with the comps when teams are playing without the Harbor. Without the Hammer, or without the double controller in general, most teams are, it's just an A-hit simulator. You go there always, sometimes you throw in a B-hit, you have to fight deep. But yeah, it's so different for this squad, the variety they have.
Well, let's go to the Aim Lab shoot around real fast. We'll check in with Chichu and we'll continue the conversation regarding EDG. You know, something that I thought I would never see as I'm looking through the stats, because obviously we're looking at Chichu here, but Kangkang, 4 frags total, like the whole map, which is like heartbreaking because
shut down completely.
And you would see him on screen here and there. It didn't feel like his aim was aligned there. Like it wasn't like, it was like big battles. No, it honestly just felt like he was just getting diffed.
Yeah, exactly. Not many things were working on the side of EDG for their first map again, and I repeat, this is the map that they chose. Now we should be moving on something that theoretically Loud is going to be more comfortable in.
Yeah, and honestly, the wildest thing to me about that match, besides the crumble as a whole, was that QCK was diffing Kangkang. He's the guy we were saying needed to step up, needed to be great on the jet. We hadn't seen him at his peak yet. And he was out there, he was being set up beautifully, and he was dominating Kangkang in the opening kills. But you're right, Bea. We've hit a reset point, we've gone into sunset, but man, am I worried about EDG. It's so hard to reset. Not just, sometimes you lose a match, you can wipe it away, but this is now 2 maps in a row where it's been the same story.
Yeah, probably they ran out of fuel maybe too soon in the tournament. We were talking about, is Loud top-notch right now? Are they going to be, you know, are they really up there to be the winners of the tournament? EDG right now is not looking like a fair opponent to them, because Loud, after what they did yesterday on Sunset, how good they were feeling, how everything was falling onto place, a 13-5 against FPX, where FPX were having crazy rounds. I think that Live and Ultim were final bosses. For this one, things are getting even harder for EDG.
Yeah, very much out of hand here. Here comes the Agent Select, and you know, we're getting ready here for some Sunset. You're going to see QCK. He's going to be rocking that Phoenix. He's going to get right in the face of his opponents as much as he can.
Yeah, the biggest goals of Loud's comp on the defense is extremity control. With that breach, with their multitude of flashes, they're really good at holding down space in the mains, in fighting forward against EDG. They don't have that same initiator power to fight back in. So for EDG, I think this attack side is about getting mid control, baiting out util, going for these late round hits if they want to win. But that's all out the window. This is a map about confidence. EDG need to remember who they are. They're the team who's been dominating in China, who comes to international events and beats the best of them. It's absolutely unacceptable for them to go out with a whimper. This team needs to remember why they're great.
And watch out, because Loud might have the read onto them. We know that EDG likes to play it slow, likes to play it with time, but Loud, with this composition and with that first map that they gave us, they want to take it all and make it into playoffs.
Is this how it ends for EDG? Will Loud push forward into the playoffs? Let's find out. Send it right back over to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, and our wonderful analyst desk. Tom, as we move into this next one, you know, I pity our analysts for having to look at that last one and break it down, because it's tough to be nice to EDG after that. It was a really, really rough showing on their map pick, but the promise, they're good on their opponent's map picks. Tom, you opened up the series by saying that. I hope to God you're right.
Well, that's the thing. We now have to do what EDG did. Forget that ever happened. And move straight on. And Loud, they run quite an explosive comp. Kicking it off on this defensive side, you can expect aggression, you can expect pressure. And basically, EDG have to forget that that has been a rough performance. Boombot gone. Shock Dart counted. They are going to be looking for the split straight through into mid. And still, though, there are plenty of players from Loud around these angles. QCK already, as said, was looking good on the last map, looking to try and take control. And it's Less and Howdong with the first couple, but Loud have come out on top.
Still a bit of a struggle to get in towards B main, and well, Spike dropped everybody, split up, and it's only Con left. He's fired off to find Kawanzin the first, but a double peek quickly secures the round for Loud. And that's another pistol underneath Loud's control. All three so far have gone to them. For EDG, it's going to be a minute before they can heat back up. They're down to pistols.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice for them just to get off to a good start on this map. Try and, as said, forget what happened. But the fact is, it's always difficult when Loud play the way they do. Like, I feel like there's going to have to be real dedication to just being wary of where QCK is going to be, because he could be everywhere. Like, the fact is, he is going to pressure all over the map. He's going to have supportive utility from Kawanzin at times. He's also going to be looking to farm up those ult orbs, because it really does help with the aggression. So I feel like EDG are going to have to play their defaults well, and in the last round particularly, losing B main like that and having no way in, that was definitely a problem.
Immediate spams through the smoke. Well, Howdong's definitely got the shorter end of that stick. Less is being tagged up a little bit, and 2E's is down. Okay, EDG, they've got a little bit of punch packed in this one. For the defensive side, they've lost full mid control. So it's time to go walkabouts. A site is under threat from behind, so they're going to secure the front. QCK's already made it past, but the timing is key, and he's picked his angle. Picked the right angle indeed, although the shots don't land. The flash in hand, and it almost cost him his life, but the timing was good. With Howdong down, the heal can be found by QCK, and he's out of there, actually. He's just going to give up the control entirely.
Yeah, not wanting to try and stick around versus the pistols. The thing is, though, the B site is under the control of their opponents. They don't really have the cipher that we've seen from many others, from Chichu on the other side, that gives them that extra bit of information. We've seen a lot of teams really utilize the cipher on this map. Less, though, executing Kankan. He was one of the major dangers. Look at the rest of the weaponry that's available for EDG, and it definitely isn't pretty.
Take flight.
Even an extra kill or two, though, in this post-plant could be huge.
Well, this is it, especially with the plant spot, right? Like, this is all about spamming. The downside is two classics. Not really going to have the best of times. Nobody know where to go. Found an angle eventually and a kill. But Chichu on another. Now there's a real chance for damage. Shock dart close, and the spray doesn't land. Kawanzin's now the last man standing. He might not even be able to win this anymore. If he does, it's going to be at a heavy, heavy cost, and he's out.
Fair play. That was a point I had absolutely no belief in the fact that EDG would be able to take that home. Already getting themselves a MasterCard Thrifty, and that's going to be a huge boost to the confidence. Some great individual ability there, but also just the goal to just sit in a snake bite and then peek after the two pulses. That's one of the few moments you're going to see an aftershock, like the changes that they made to it from 3 pulses to 2, actually making a major difference, because otherwise he is dead.
One enemy remaining. Just about made it out with his life. Hit the shots, and even with the shock darts finding them, a player swinging who's got a fully auto rifle when you're so low, just didn't matter. EDG have got their early start. This is what we wanted to see. I thought we weren't seeing it with the pistol. The smile on my face. As Loud now have the weaker weapons, and EDG will face off against them with confidence. Concon straight around that angle, and Les, one of the major dangers, is already being dropped. Both rifles that Loud have are now on the floor.
This is a confident looking Concon. Was already looking dangerously missing in the last map, and he did have a rough performance the last time they played Sunset as well versus Paybrek, so I was a little bit worried, but the fact is this round decimating Les. 2Es now. Again, it's about getting a kill, getting anything, make things more costly. They know exactly where he is. Now, not shooting it might bait the idea that he's round the corner, but Concon is making sure he's not giving anything away, and to bounce back off pistols and then go into a flawless round, that's about as good of an economy boost as you're ever going to get.
Well, they lost the pistol, they're 2-1 up, and they've got a showstopper on Concon, a player that was, as you said, just completely missing on the previous map. A player that is really the reason that people are believing in this squad being able to pull it across the line, because he's been so strong this tournament, and I was terrified. If he didn't show up here, the game was already over. But very early on, we found out that he's here to play, and round number 4 is going to see a full buy for both squads. Run it back online.
Okay, he's insta-popped the showstopper. Again, this just has to be a moment for Loud where they just give up the site. Almost played straight into the retake. He's garnered quite a bit of space, but because he's gone the direction of elbow, they actually haven't managed to get into an after-plant position off of the back of this. And maybe almost trying to sell the idea that this was a ruse. I like this from EDG. They're now breaking the door, and I feel like this is putting in some real hesitation in the side of Loud. Like, they're clearing things out. They've seen absolutely nothing on A after your opponent bursts a showstopper into the elbow. This must be a peculiar round for them. And now just patiently waiting. Timing going to be everything. I think Sadak caught a glimpse, though.
He saw one. He might have seen 2. Decent shock dart as well, some damage done. EDG on their way through, though. They will make the A play with QCK securing mid and now looking to move forward. This is where I expect the run it back, and indeed, it's already popped. He's on his way through. Peak is good for some damage. QCK focused on the site, gets dropped eventually, but he's back in the fight now. Alongside Kawanzin, who's just burned the ball as util. You know, that flash didn't manage to root anyone out of position, but the molly certainly has. They're all low and, well, sat around the same position, just nobody who's up on full. He's the first to swing, post on the wide angle, and find quite a bit of control for himself. The plant still to be secured with 15 seconds. They need to find a safe haven to get that done, and it's the corner up close. Nobody has to hold strong, and with him down, the round is already done. You'd imagine. Come on, there we go.
Yeah, I saw Sadak on 1 HP, and there was a moment that maybe there was some belief, but yeah, a very odd round. Like, I don't mind the ideas from EDG, like the start, if that was the game plan, because they take so much control with the showstopper. Okay, that's fine. Then they pause, which I definitely think puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. But then they don't really take that space, and they take so long to get into an after-plant position and lose the battles in mid. That was one of the major detriments to the round, was that you already saw Loud having such a large advantage that, okay, I think nobody ends up doing quite well to at least make that one look competitive, but ultimately the round doesn't go their way. Now, luckily, as we've mentioned, plenty of cash available.
Yeah, there's no struggles whatsoever. But the side of EDG, even Hunter's Fury online to work with. Something to fall back on. Close to getting a null command as well. Tui's, well, he might have his by the end of the round. We'll see if that has any impact. Round 5 starts off with a spray and Concon getting put in his place by Kalanzine. As we saw, that was just blind fire straight through the smoke, but an angle that's going to be very frequently spammed.
Again, now Loud are able to fall back into these more passive positions. Tui's about to be put under pressure, but the fact is he'll probably just fall back off of this, call for some rotations. And you can see Loud are starting to group up together to potentially make a play back into mid. Now this is being watched by Smoggy, and because of that they are just going to have to fall back. Chichu potentially wanting to try and find some sort of trade, but in the meantime they have again completely given up this A site. But as we've already witnessed, Loud are very happy to go for the retake.
Might be one player shy. Chichu was patient. An angle that was checked before many times by Loud on the way back through, but they decided to leave it open this time. That's going to delay the rotates to A, and even allow EDG to get into position on the post plants. Although Chichu might not be there to help them out, I don't think he's expecting QCK to be quite that close. And we'll take him out of the retake for a while, buy some time for the squad of EDG to bunker down. They don't know where these players from the side of Loud are. I mean, again, QCK is on the other side of the universe.
The paranoia could be perfect.
They've gambled it the right way, but there's no one to follow up on it. There's no one there. QCK is caught. Okay, Haodong's in a good position, only the one to be found. They know where Smoggy is, so they're holding the angle. Clean as can be. Nobody, though, still holding strong. He sees the shoulder, but he can't get the arrow off. Or the bullets either. Couldn't decide. 3 rounds for Loud.
Yeah. They've been good in these retakes. I thought for a moment that paranoia looked like it could catch all 3 players as they went for the retake, but wasn't quite placed out. Well, it was placed well, but there wasn't anybody to actually capitalize off it. And then in the end, it just came down to some slightly shaky fights. The Hunter's Fury as well, close to being devastating, but close is not going to win you these rounds. Still, though, EDG are going to be able to bounce back once again. They still have the finances available to them to invest in this round. Now the A site, they've been able to get into the post plants. I actually think a lot of their problems right now is the fact that they are trying to play the map so much. I think they've been given quite a lot of opportunities on A, but they always have a deficit by the time they get there.
You know, when you think about how those retakes were established for Loud, 30 seconds before Spike goes down, you have players being dropped, you have QCK miles out of position, even caught on the rotate as well. Despite that, they're still able to get a good stranglehold over the side. You can see why they're confident on the retake game. Now EDG, this time focus on B, but there's a flank watch from Chichu. He's caught 2 players pushing up, but I don't know that he has a way out this time. Stun was good, and they're closing the distance with a Phoenix Flash soon to round the corner, and Chichu's in so much trouble. But in the meantime, the spike's being planted, so Loud again have to go for the retake, but as we've said, they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they've done really well to isolate the flank every single time. Chichu hasn't managed to really get anything. And now it's up to the heroes on the other side to try and hold this one down. QCK off to a flyer. Concon waiting on the corner, looks away, still manages to snap back. But again, it comes down to 1. Nobody already spawning the first. Just looking to try and wrap back around into that 1v1. The dart should reveal the player on the spike, knows exactly where Sadak is. I'm waiting for him to try and tap that. It's gonna come down to 1. And Sadak is a safe pair of hands once again. Loud will convert a 4th round into their favor. And for EDG, it's close, but no cigar.
Sadak's been leading by example in so many of these rounds. Big one for him to close out. This should be giving them a pretty good lead, as I expect EDG to take a much lighter buy. Going to be some serious deficits for them. On the way back in, we're seeing again and again that this squad, when they have disadvantages, they're able to fight their way through. With the advantages, it got close this time. They're still winning those clutches, and that's all they need. And the weakness is actually not that apparent on the side of EDG. They're going for all light shields, which is allowing them 4 rifles to play with. So still some very good potential to this buy from the attackers.
My ultimate ready. You look at the ults, that's the major.
Hello.
Already getting to run it back online. Hunter's Fury. Again, they look perfectly set up if they end up in a retake. And that's what Loud have been playing for in these rounds. A good start, though. Getting rid of Cowsy and also getting rid of a boatload of utility. EDG are not going to just run off the back of that entry kill. You could see a fast rotation in from Sadak, and instead, they're looking to fall back to the other side of the map.
I know exactly where you are.
I mean, we've seen this a couple of times from EDG. Now with a little bit more information to play with, they're still seeing that these positions are being held, and Loud previously pushed up on A to try to seize the space. That's not the play this time, and it's Red on the other side. Chichu sees that. He wants to take the space for himself. A very late flank. 35 seconds left on the clock while he's creeping up elbow. We see the B site under heavy threat. Last in the corner. He hasn't been pushed out of it, but now he's being spotted. This could spell danger. Nobody being tracked. And he's down low. So is Howdong. Everybody, in fact, has seen their fair share of combat. Howdong, though, wants to take down less. Forward! And Tui's was waiting. A quick double for him. A triple, in fact. And it looks like it's all sealed. QCK even popped the ulti as well. He's running it back and taking down Smuggy. Showmanship for 5-2.
Yeah, they look like they're right back in the driver's seat. A shaky start to this map for Loud, but 4 rounds in a row once again. They have just looked superior so far throughout this map, and the funny thing is, on the entry, you watch both players at the back of site have all of their utility taken away. The second it comes back online, the snake bites are perfect. The counter utility, the smokes they're putting down, just making things so much more awkward. And then also you just have Tui just pop in anyone's head that even looks at him for a second.
Well, I think that's also part of it. You have Les in the corner firing with his rifle, letting them know he's there. He throws the snake bite, player gets close, and as soon as the second one's fired, he's running at him to punish him. But not able to. Not when Tui's is there. Quick shut down to this round with 3 fast kills. QCK right down on mid, and so is the whole force of Loud. You know, 4-player mid push with a Phoenix leading charge. It's not easy to deal with that.
Loud got B, guys. Yeah, guys have got B.
On the upside, it's clear. They kept their credits for the next round, Tom. That's, I think they're pretty thankful for that now.
One hero rifle to try and do some damage, and the worst thing is that I feel like they've already made the realization that he must have pushed through behind them. Nice shots from Chichu. They need a whole lot more, but somehow Sadak, even when he doesn't have his gun in hand, still manages to just dodge the bullets. 6-2. It's a little bit more costly than maybe it should have been, but I don't think Loud are going to care. An operator in hand in EDG, I feel like we're right back on Icebox again. 5 rounds in a row, a pause taken, and the coaching staff once again given a chance to try and stem the bleeding.
At least there's already been a bit more promise to this attack side, though. When we saw this pause come in early on Icebox, it definitely felt like it was a bit frantic, and it proved to be as the map went on. Loud had them read like a book. This time around, EDG can't afford to have that happen again, but there's a major difference, which is that Concon is online. I think now they've sharpened their weapon from the last map. They just need to find the crack in that armor to take these players down. There's not been too many weaknesses on display for Loud in this series. They've only lost 4 rounds so far.
Yeah, their retakes on the A side have been sublime, so much so that they were pretty happy to actually give it up. And then their hold on the B side with less at the back of it have also been fantastic. Now, he's only there with 3 kills, but it's just the counter utility that comes out, Tui's the support that's there. And then obviously at times, QCK just taking that aggressive push. And as we've said, throughout this tournament, he has been one of those players that's under the microscope. He's replacing big shoes, whether that player didn't make it to this event or not. He's a talking point. And in the last 2 maps, honestly, he's been sublime. He has been a nuisance for EDG to deal with. Top of the board right now. Here we go. EDG with an investment, rifles onto the board. As said, A-site has been a good place for them to get in. The problem is, the retakes from Loud have been on point.
This is it, Tom. Like, you know, Tui's posted on this angle up in hand. Game hasn't really got started for EDG yet. An opportunity to claim this A side as their own, and oh no, right away. The timing is found, the space is taken, and Tui's is right back out of there.
He sleeps.
He's set up again for another angle with the op. It's going to be smoked off, but my goodness, Tom, this is not an ideal start for EDG. No. Nobody down. They're not going to have a lot of info on the way through.
But the thing is as well, Loud aren't just sitting there. They've already taken B main control, realizing there's no one there, so the rest of the team are able to rotate in early. They're able to claim so much space because the fact is the lurks from Chichu have failed every single time. So they're already there just pounding utility into these players. Chichu's desperately hoping to try and find something, but you expect it to be searched for, and it may not even be needed. The flash from QCK is also just perfect. Howdong low, and they're waiting. Les is just watching. He knows that Chichu's eventually going to try and make his move. The fact is, Loud at this point are just reading the script. A paranoia into the back, the blinded player stuck, a Molotov step into. This is all just perfect. Loud can do no wrong, and Howdong, he has to wipe the entire squad, and QCK is instant on the trade. They're running a clinic on EDG at the moment. Just fantastic from Loud.
Run it back, and Viper's Pit online for next. 2 away from the Rolling Thunder on Kawanzin with 7 rounds on the board. And near no promise for the side of EDG to get back into this series. The door is being shut on them, Tom. And I mean,
so
like every single piece of this gameplay is so good. You mentioned the push-up on B-man, give them a little bit of information. But from there, the rotate comes in, Les leaves B main, moves to mid, waits for the lurk. I mean, if they had the coach's notes in front of them, they still couldn't predict it that well, mainly because I don't think they'd be able to read them.
You never know. They're a team of many talents at this stage.
maybe
in a little bit more trouble than we've seen before, as they look to put the pressure on much faster. I don't mind this approach from EDG. The fact is, a lot of the time they've been given this control by Loud. They're already going to spot Sanak is here early. Again, when you have a run back in play, you're more than happy to just go for a retake. Hunter's Fury throw now. Nobody's desperately trying to find an opening kill. That's one of the things that EDG have pretty much failed to get in almost every single round. Oh, spam! From Kawazi! He just predicted where his opponent was going to go. Run it back now in. Utility set up to try and play QCK into position there. Watch it, but he still takes down Kankan. That advantage was never had. The spam almost eliminating Howdong. Wallbang in, it's just one left. They're cleaning house.
Flawless, भाई तुम देखो क्या कर रहे हैं भाई. सलाम है भाई, सलाम.
It's a hard one to find hope in.
तुम्हें कभी गेम सही में टीम वाली सीखनी है ना.
Hope for EDG, maybe not.
Loud का game, Loud
in the
का
future
game.
of this tournament. Oh hell yes!
If they keep playing like this, they're back in contention, because that's been the thing that's sort of been a bit shaky for them so far. Is they've not looked bad, but they've not looked like Loud.
Yeah.
This is looking like Loud. This is looking like a champion. This is looking like a team that have been at many events before.
They have looked like Loud. They've just looked like Loud at a Masters, not Loud at any other event.
Narrator वो होगा भाई.
Finally, we're seeing this team at a Masters be able to put up numbers. One map already secured. Yeah. More than halfway to getting this one in EDG.
भाई प्लेयर ही लाते. अभी देख, हर साल ये एक प्लेयर बदलते हैं, ठीक है?
2 rounds on their attack.
अभी लेस और साढ़ा के इन्हें सबसे पहले उसको निकाल 2 निकले थे वो तब. उसके बाद ये 2 लाए, कावंजीन लाए थे और 2 ही नहीं था पहले, उसके नेक्स्ट में आया था. 2 ही स्टार्ट में था यार, मतलब फिर आ गया. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद आसपास गया. टीम पिछली बार भी इतनी बढ़िया थी, कुछ था ही नहीं, कोई कमी नहीं थी.
Do you know, I wonder if like
फिर वही ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद ये लाए QC1, बाकी 4 तो वही है ना भाई. की परफेक्टली हाँ डिवीजन नहीं हो ना. फिर उसके बाद अभी ये ले आए बीच में, पता नहीं कौन आया था यार, याद नहीं आ रहा मेरे को भाई. बट पता नहीं क्या ऐसी टीम बना. ओए पीछे साढ़ा. ये देख साढ़ा का मैं बताऊँ तुम्हें, साढ़ा का बेस्ट लक है इस गेम का. कुछ भी करता है वो, कुछ भी खेलता है, कुछ भी. सबसे मोस्ट इरिटेटिंग प्लेयर होता है ना, साढ़ा उसमें से है. ये देख, ये तो ये देख.
Any questions that were being asked of this man now? Gone.
ये
18 of 5. He's had a field day on the
मजा नहीं आ रहा. आसपास का थोड़ा सा वैसा हो गया डाउनफॉल टाइप, क्योंकि हर बार हो जाता है. बट ये प्लेयर बढ़िया ढूंढते हैं, क्योंकि ये बहुत बढ़िया है यार, अच्छा खेलता है हर बार. बट इस बार डुएलिस्ट मुनीबू और ऐसे बढ़िया बढ़िया बंदे आ गए हैं.
He's playing attack on defense.
18
hello,
and
9-2.
EDG, one last chance to put a round on the board here on the attacking side. Make it 9-3 at the half. It's not a lot of hope, but it's a damn sight better than what they'll be facing otherwise. Coming into it, they're up against the Viper's Pit. They're up against a rolling Thunder. As well as just what Loud have been bringing to the table again and again.
Has Les actually used the Viper's Pit the whole half? I think he just used it now because he was like, oh.
I think that is the first. I mean, when have they needed it?
No, exactly.
Unless you're going to lock down B main, which again hasn't really been challenged for that aggressively and certainly not successfully from EDG.
अब आ जाइए.
There's been no pressure.
अरे मेरे को ना यार खुद भी casting सुनने नहीं
the little like challenges you get. He's just like, oh,
और बड़ा और बड़ा
yeah, gotta use one more ult to get my points.
He's trying to complete the battle.
अब ठीक है. मैं मार नहीं हूँ. चलो. Oh my god, यार bully लग रहा है. Nobody ने मुझे 1 किल 3-9 से कम बैक हो सकता है भाई. Desktop audio इससे और बढ़ा दूँ. रुक जा राउंड की बात करता हूँ. कांग को कोई भाई चला दो. ज़्यादा हो गई ASMR हो रहा. मैं बोल रहा था वो सही है. अब रुक जाओ. अबे
So he should be able to catch Tui's this time. He's been expecting, and even still,
मेरे को लगा ये भी मार देगा. ये भी लग जाता सड़क का अभी. अब ठीक है. कल तो आओगे ना यार. आ तो जाना कल. कल का फाइनल यही है. आना है कल आना है यार. परसों 2 बजे क्यों है? 2 बजे तक हम वेट करें कॉलेज आके कि कॉन्फ्रेंस होगी. हाँ 6-15 हॉर्स खास. तुम वॉलंटियर बनने गए थे भाई. हाउडोंग का हो गया भाई. जीजी हो गया हाउडोंग का. 7 बजे आओ भाई. ये तो स्कूल में भी नहीं पता. एक बार पता है मैं जब मैं उसमें था ना, मतलब जब सुबह 8 बजे पहुंचनी 9 बजे पहुंचना होता मैं. फिर दंगा. मेहनत हो गई वरुण भाई की. मैंने इसलिए बोला है चल लियो टाइम से. कौन सी मैम है? हाँ मैं क्या बता रहा था कि जब मैं स्कूल में था ना तब एक बार हुआ था ऐसा. टाइम मैं भाई के साथ चला गया सुबह. मैं सुबह जल्दी उठ जाता. मैं जल्दी से उठ के नाके चला गया. वो मैं सुबह बैठा रहा उन लोग कुछ कर नहीं रहा. और तब जब मेरा 9 बजे स्कूल होता था वो. भाई हॉटस्पॉट दे दो यार. हॉटस्पॉट दे दो. हॉटस्पॉट तो सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है भाई. 9:30 आना सुबह. भाई सीट बचा लेना. भाई हाँ एक सर्टिफिकेट की भूख भाई. एक सर्टिफिकेट की भूख. क्रेजी कौन है? अवनीश गोत्रा भाई है अपने. गोत्रा भाई अपना.
They'll certainly have a lot to learn from this series so far, Tom, but it's not a defeat yet. 9-3.
The Loud Science is they're so good, but they're so toxic. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Will it be a QCK 2-0?
Oh, a quick 2-0. I like it.
It's a master of puns.
के बारे में कौन कह रहा? भाई ये कह रहा था. गॉड इनको ट्रिपर भी दिख जाएगी क्या? ओए फंस गए यार. बड़ी जल्दी तोड़ते हैं यार. बढ़िया है यार. ऐसे लोग होने चाहिए. 1 सेकंड में ट्रिपर तोड़ने वाले. यूटिलिटी भी इनकी सारी टूट रही है. कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा.
The Loud even let them
अरे भाई गोड़ो मिशी भाई यार अभी पिटने वाली है EDG मेरे को लग रहा है भाई पोस्ट ऑन यूटिलिटी देखो 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 पोजीशनिंग लम्मा ओए 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 हो रहा है नहीं नहीं और नहीं हो रहा नहीं हो रहा नहीं हो रहा हो रहा है हो रहा है हो रहा है कुछ हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा ओह AI लाइव स्ट्रीम हाँ भाई AI की तो कर दो मॉडल बना दो एक हेट चीज फैलाओ इसी चैट में अरे
I think he could bring back some like 40-year-old FPS player. Maybe he could bring back Lothar.
भाई 21-6 कांग 11-11
Hey, he plays Valorant. It was a card
Oi.
game version, sure. Wow, toxic. I believe in you, Lothar. Here we go. 10-3. Flash.
कुछ हो रहा है उफ ओह माय गॉड प्रणव भाई जो है व्हाट अ डे भाई a day in MSI as an AI intern ये तो है भाई कांग का डाउनफॉल तो मैंने तुम्हें प्रेडिक्ट करके बता ही दिया था कि आ चुका है देखो ये तो मैं पहले ही बता दिया था जब स्टार्ट मैं फर्स्ट मैच था इनका
This is the real tragic thing. Just look at the timeline there. Round 2 and 3.
Get loud, bhai.
They upset them on that second.
Loud, my goat.
I said, now we've got a game on our hands, didn't I? I had to say that. Here we are. And for EDG, you know, there's a lot to talk about in their previous games. In this one, though, 5 rounds across the series so far. Loud have just had complete control.
और दिन में स्ट्रीम बंद करते ही ऐसी चीज गई समझे ऐसी कौन सी टीम है अच्छा सेन जीत गई हाँ सेन तो बेस्ट टीम है ओए कम बैक भाई क्या है लाउड भाई अबे ये तो नहीं हो सकता ओ माय गॉड कैसे नो वे अबे ये तो नहीं ये वाला ओ माय यार ये क्या था भाई नहीं कैसे नो वे भाई नो वे भाई ये तो बुली था भाई क्या अभी तो 12-3 हो रहा है अभी थ्रो कर दिया इनने भाई क्या था ये राउंड बाइसन बंडल भाई स्पैनिश इंडिया रखा है क्यों भाई इसे पिछला 13-2 था व्हाट हैपेंड ब्रो यार ऐसे मत कर पिटाई हो गई इनकी लाउड ने दिखा दिया कि हम लाउड है नहीं जीत पाती लाउड तो भाई अलग ही खेलती है EDG नहीं लाउड के हिसाब से पहुंचना मुश्किल है जब तक कांग ना मारे तो कांग की पिटाई हो रही है इसमें अबे ये हैक क्यों जाते हैं कल भी इतनी बार हुआ था ये हैक हो जाते थे नहीं ये देख ऐसा हो रहा था इनके इस पे लाउड ने ये तो भाई क्या ही बोला ओए कैमरा, इनका कैमरे का एम चल रहा है अभी। एम तो चलो क्या ही नहीं चल रहा भाई, अलग ही खेल रही है लाउड भाई। कभी नहीं अकेले होते ये, 4 बंदे खड़े होते हैं इनके। जीजी हो गया। ओ माय गॉड, जीजी भाई, जीजी। किसको किल दूं, किसको किल दूं? जीन को ही दे देता हूँ। क्वालिफाई हो गई लाउड भी। लाउड वर्सेस सेन होगा शायद से, नहीं अच्छा वो, हाँ लाउड वर्सेस सेन होगा। सोच में पड़ गया भाई, हाउ डाउन क्या करूं। लाउड एल सेकंड और इसका है क्या, थर्ड का? ओ मैंने वो देखा नहीं था चार्ट, मेरे को पता नहीं था। मेरे को बस ये पता था जो 2 पहले जीतेगा वो क्वालिफाई करता है। एल लाइक कर दो, लाइक कर दो, लाइक कर दो। अबे भाई अगला मैच होगा ना गोटेड, ये तो वन साइडेड था। ओए प्रे हो गया, साडाक ने प्रे कर दी। साडाक हिंदू है, साडाक ने वही बना रखा है हाथ पे ओम का साइन।
Everybody is going to be shouting, unfortunately, after victories versus Paperex, a close game versus Genji. It wasn't quite to be today, but for Loud, this was a...
तो मतलब क्या कह रहे हैं, सेन वर्सेस पेपरएक्स? तुम मेरे को चूज करने को कह रहे हो अब? चल दोनों एपैक की टीम में आगे आ जाएंगी यार, बट केसी है हर एक यार। केसी हो, केसी जीते बट ना दिल नहीं जाता, बट केसी जीते उसके बाद ना वो होगा चारों रीजन का एक एक है उसमें भाई। इससे ज्यादा बढ़िया क्या हो सकता है पूल कोई। बट वही है, एपैक बेस्ड हूं ना थोड़ा सा मैं भी।
Fitting into his role, he looks pretty damn comfortable now and terrifying for anyone facing this Loud team. Moving on in the tournament and moving on with our games for today, it's time to throw this one over to the analyst desk.
एनालाइज कर रही है क्या अभी बातें करेंगे, अब क्या करें तब तक क्या करना है भाई? किसी के पास कुछ आइडिया तो बताओ यार। वैलो खेलो एक मैच तब तक। अच्छा जो वैलो खेलते एक मैच, अब तक हो जाए वैलो हो जाए एक मैच। चीटर्स ये बढ़िया है। एडवर्ड गेमिंग, एडवर्ड थ्रोइंग। GG's. अबे धरती ली भाई, एक सेकेंड। हाँ ये मुझे तो फ्लड मेवेदर को कुछ हो गया अबे। क्या क्या होता रहता है, बढ़िया है यार। हाय अपनी मार्केट में ही आई है आज। ये अब देख लूँ, फॉलो एंड फॉलो तो मैं कर चुका हूँ, यही देख लूँ तब तक जिसमें साउंड नहीं है। ये फेसबुक क्या हुआ क्या है? ओह शिट, मेरे को यार टू वॉच यू प्ले। अरे सॉरी, अभी मैच आने में टाइम है तो मैं क्या करूँ, मेरे को पता है मैं तो नूबी हूँ। थोड़ा सा चीज रह गई। KCFTW केसी यार, बट वही है ना, वो अपनी है। बट मैं यार चाहता हूँ हम चार रीजन का हो और जंजी जीत जाए। नोड मॉड्यूल्स कहाँ से आ गए भाई? ओह अरे अरे अरे, गिट इग्नोर। ठीक है जी, ठीक है, अभी भी बचे हैं। रुको रुको रुको, इसमें तो कुछ नहीं है। कौन सा यहाँ पे स्प्लिट? हो गया, ठीक है। और ये बंदा पागल है, अपना अरेना ले रहा है। पेपर एक्स हो गया ये तो, गुड भाई। ये देख रहा था ना। अबे
Match found.
अस्केंट आ गया। अबे अबे भाई, ये कैसा इंस्टा लॉक था?
शुरू करता हूँ।
करो।
2 दिन से इंस्टाग्राम मेरा एक्टिव नहीं था। जज्जर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर मैं अलाउड नहीं हूँ कुछ डालने के, ठीक है? कानूनी कार्रवाई मेरे ऊपर हो चुकी है, जो चीजें लगनी थी लग चुकी है। एक छोटी सी बातचीत हुई थी राजवीर भाई साहब के साथ, एक छोटी सी चीज थी,
छोटी सी तो
सरनेम का मजाक उड़ाना और 2-4 चीजें और। बढ़ते बढ़ते बढ़ गई है कुछ जरूरत से ज्यादा, ठीक है? जरूरत से ज्यादा। जितने भी लोगों ने मेरा समर्थन करा भाई सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जितने भी बड़े आदमी थे, जितने भी लोग थे जिन्होंने ग्रुप बनाए थे, जो भी चीजें थी, हर एक से पहले पूछा है, उसके बाद यहाँ लाइव सामने SHO से परमिशन ली है, उसके बाद लाइव करा है, कल को अगर वो डिनाई, ठीक है?
जज्जर पुलिस ने तो कैचिंग कर ली भैया। इस मैप पे योरू क्यों लिया है? ऐसे करेगा। मेरा इतना पिंग पता नहीं क्यों आने लग गया। एक तो भाई कहाँ जाना है? शिट भाई कहाँ जाना है? एक शॉट पे है। लास्ट शॉट, नाइस। ए स्पाइक था मेरे पास यार, मेरे को ना इसलिए इतना पैंटिंग में खेलना पड़ा। ए पैकेट लॉस आ रहा है। वाओ वेट अ सेकंड गाइस, अभी ठीक कर दे हैं। कम करते हैं, कम करते हैं भाई। नहीं 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 भाई, मेरा माउस। मिड पुश कर रहे हैं शायद। वाओ मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? अभी भी आ रहा है। रुक जाओ रुक जाओ रुक जाओ। समझ गया समझ गया। टीवी चल रहा है, टीवी चल रहा है, टीवी चल रहा है शायद। मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता यार उसमें, तो आएगा ही आएगा।
Omen, keep your flash ready for mid market.
Okay bro.
I'm done with Cypher's secrets. Revealing area. Shadows traveling.
जब चाहिए तब बोल दियो। कर दिया।
दे दे। और एक क्लोज है।
वाह।
Spike down mid.
बना।
Last player standing.
हे भाई नहीं हो पाएगा यार, रुक जाओ। तो कोई नहीं बोला। भाई क्लोज आ क्यों रहा है भाई? ये नहीं पसंद यार, ये मत करो। अबे एक गेम लगाई थी तुमने तो उड़ाई दिया नेट। सेम करना है। कहाँ गया? चल आजा।
Spike down B.
सीटी।
One enemy remaining.
I have the spike.
मुझे लग रहा है बैकस्टैप आएगा, मेन स्मोक कर रहा हूँ। नहीं मार्केट ही है।
Scanning ahead. I have survived more than you have ever seen. I need this. My sights.
Let's go. Come. Cypher lurk.
Guys, I need some good net. I don't know why I'm facing packet loss, but this is very sad. Do you need a early flash or do you need a gen flash? Okay.
I know exactly where
एक ऊपर आ गया, पुश कर दिया. Nice bro.
Beautiful.
Guys, I'll take a Orban ult. You just follow Cypher later करना क्योंकि वो लोग fall back करेंगे के ult. Omen full shields ले लेगी अब lot of money.
It's fine, man. It's fine.
A shot one.
एक स्मोक गलत है. अबे सो ब्रो हैं? हाँ तो ही नहीं. अबे ये गिरा. अबे यार. अबे देखा तो था भाई. अबे यार. यार वो वाली वैंडल है क्या कोई? दियो ये नहीं. पतली तिल्ली. हाँ अर्ली फ्लैश चाहिए मतलब कहाँ चाहिए? लेन पे कहाँ पे चाहिए भाई? कहाँ पे? ब्रा अल्ट भी वेस्ट हो गई.
camera taken out.
I will take back what is mine. There. Caution.
एक ट्रिप यहाँ पे होती है भाई.
I know exactly.
भाई नहीं हो रहा यार. शिट. साइफर लो 80. ये
Nice song, Cypher.
जिगल कर, मैं जिगल कर.
Cage trigger.
I'm hiring him. He's on set.
Enemies close. Eyes up.
Need a drop. Need a drop.
यार पैकेट लॉस क्यों आ रहे इतना भाई?
शीफर
हाँ कहाँ जाना है?
क्या ही करे? केओ को बोलना केओ।
रिकॉन दियो एक। चल नेवर माइंड। Here 2 भाई कुछ नहीं दिख रहा। 120 था वो, मैंने स्पैम क्यों नहीं किया? हे के योरू लो 120 नाइस ब्रो। भाई मेरा भी चल जा नेट डैट। हाँ बी पे था, ये साउंड था इसका बहुत ज्यादा। आ गया। ओके 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 भाई पैकेट लॉस नहीं आना चाहिए यार। ओ पापा देख रहे हैं टीवी अंदर रूम। ओ क्या करना है? पकड़ा गया, सुबह पकड़ा गया। योरू या नाइस। नहीं तोड़ियो मत। एक किल तो लूंगा ना अपना, चाहे 100 क्यों ना आ रहा हो मेरा एरर। पैकेट लॉस सॉरी, एक किल तो अपना है ही है। बहस मत करना एक किल के बारे में। भाई क्यों तेरे को लाइनअप भी आते हैं क्या? बढ़िया भाई। भाई केओ खेल रही है, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ वाओ। मिड पुश हो रहा है शायद। भाई अबे क्या करूं मैं? भाई चालू हो गया वो हैक।
मुझे ये देना, वेंजेंस देना, एक्सचेंज करूं?
भाई कोई नेट दे दो, स्किन विन मत दो यार प्लीज।
मेरा भी लॉस आ रहा है।
अच्छा फिर ठीक है, फिर ठीक है, फिर ठीक है।
अबे काम करो ओमन ओमन, अरे सुबह सुबह तू एमन ड्रॉप कर, हम सारे कैट से आ रहे हैं। सारे कैट तू अकेला मत ड्रॉप कर।
You guys run, I'm giving shots.
मैच शुरू हो गया उधर।
120
भाई
flash out.
Wow.
Who's next?
They won't expect this. Wait. No, they did. No. Bro, टाइमिंग पे स्पाइक गिरा तूने यार इतनी फनी टाइम। देख भाई एक्सपेक्ट कर लिया यार। अबे मेरे को लगा यहाँ खड़ा हुआ। बे यार मेरे को सही में लगा जेठी यहाँ पे खड़ा होके शॉट मार्क कर रहा है। वही तो टाइमिंग हुई, तुम्हें पता ही नहीं चला ना। तुम्हें नहीं पता चला, वो लकी थे। मैं चल रहा देन। अरे अभी टाइम है। वो गाना सुनने के तुम्हें मस्त लगता है वो गाना मेरे को। अरे हाँ वाई दे कॉपिंग अस। शॉट भी आएंगे। साइट खेल रहा हूँ अंडर। मिड था ये। भाई क्या हो रहा है ये?
इस राउंड कैसे खेलना है खेलो।
भाई यार बड़ा इरिटेटिंग है ये। पिटाई होगी। योरू भाई नहीं उसलिए नहीं हो रहा। कॉल मी टू ब्रो। ऐसा जैसे नहीं आ रहा है यार ये। 9 से 5 भाई
Spike planted.
इतना तो पहली बार फेस कर रहा हूँ मैं। ए कैन वी शुड मिड पुश करते हैं। हाँ यहाँ पे फ्लैश करना। आ जा, ये स्मोक कर रहा हूँ। घुसते हैं आ जा। और नो टर्न अप ना। ए पे हैं वैसे। भाई माउस भी बंद हो गया।
एक है पुश कर रहा है साइड पर तेरे को।
Spike planted.
हेवन है। कहाँ से मारा?
एक हेवन पुट आउट ड्रॉप। आवाज दो शॉट से जरा। और एक मेन
आई थिंक एक अंडर है।
दो मेन एक अंडर है।
मैच स्टार्ट हो रहा। आ रहा हूँ टेंशन मत ले। आ रहा हूँ खत्म कर रहा है थोड़ा यार। मेरा नेट चले तो मैं मार पाऊँ। पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है। देख के आता हूँ।
Play A side.
Mid छोड़ दो, play 3 है, play 3 है.
I'll play 3. I can do that.
ओवन नहीं आ जा, साइड से खेलना, एक स्मोक इधर देता हूँ.
मैं तेरे साथ इधर खेल रहा हूँ, ठीक है? तू स्पैम कर.
एक तो स्मोक देखा ना, ओवन किधर देना है? इधर एक स्मोक देना तेरे को.
साइड स्मोक देना, अगर रश कर रहा है तो कॉल.
कनेक्ट कर दो उससे. तो सिलेक्ट किया है. बता रहा हूँ.
ये शॉट.
पुश कर गए. ना शुभ रात्रि. रेफ के था यार.
गाइस सुनो ना, हमें मिड भी इन्फो चाहिए. मैं नहीं बोल रहा पिक निकालो, बस इन्फो रखो, ठीक है? किधर आ रहा है?
मैं कैम डाल रहा हूँ. नहीं कैट पे वो रहोगे, कैट तो बहुत ऑब्वियस है. एक को कैट पे वो रहे.
अरे मैंने थोड़ा सा पीक दिया और बंदा ऑलरेडी इधर था.
वो तो विजिलेंट है, मैं कह रहा हूँ. 3 बंदे एक है जो बढ़िया, एक कैट विजिलेंट देखो और 2 बीवेन. अरे ईमेन सॉरी.
तो आ जाना यार. सॉरी सर.
आ गया भैया, आ गया.
एक साथ खेल. यूरो
मेरे पास भी है.
Spike planted.
मेरे पास फ्लैश है बढ़िया. बट ये लोग है किधर? No fucking way. No way भाई.
दोनों में.
One might be short. They smoked mid.
Watch shot, no, watch shot. Too spawn ki de.
Yeah. Mid trip पे खेल रहा था.
Cover going out.
One more, और एक और. Jet as well.
तो मैप इन्फो अभी तो कैसे हो रहा है सर?
Thank you bro.
छोड़ दिया.
Enemy remaining. Spike down mid. 30 seconds left.
ए भाई लेन दे यार, एक किल तो.
स्विच पे खेलना. देखो कैट साउंड आया तो डोर बंद कर दे.
ठीक है. वो दो क्या स्मोक ऊपर 1v वाला.
Once they break the door, no, he's open. Once they break the door, you can flash this. We'll keep together.
Cool.
Get out of my way.
भाई क्या हो रहा है? भाई ये रहा दिख रहा है। अबे दिख तो रहा है।
We have spike. Where is spike?
No spike bro.
Scanning ahead.
I am the hunter.
Keeping lane, no?
From me.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
He's on me. वापस साइड जा रहा है, साइड भाग रहा था वो.
Spike planted.
दिखा तेरे को. दिखा था स्मोक में खेल रहा है वो. चल वही एंटी एंटी.
Everyone's motor functions okay? I know humans get tired.
Hello.
इधर से फिर इधर. मिड पे ट्रैप लगाना तो लगा फिर इधर.
छोड़ रहा हूं अभी.
I am everywhere.
Outside है.
Shadows traveling. Here.
ये मैं देखना ठीक है.
Shadows traveling.
There is one mid guys, mid link. Yeah, care mid guys, care mid, care market.
So mic off, mic off.
B, so what dot B?
Dot.
एक मिनट एक और बी में और एक both
One enemy remaining.
ये तो शॉट था लास्ट. हाँ पहुंच गया. बढ़िया यार. देखो वो मॉक. अरे
I survived obliteration. I will survive them. My here.
Top mid smoke there.
कहाँ पे चाहिए? टॉप मिड.
Top mid.
आउटसाइड है.
120.
One enemy remaining.
अरे मेरे को लगा GGW भी लिखना है. अभी बचा एक राउंड.
Match point.
मैच देखना है भाई. खत्म नहीं हो रहा है. यही आएंगे. भी आ गए क्या?
80 टैक्स हुआ.
Do you want to push?
One enemy remaining.
GG bro.
Defenders win.
Get good Oman bro. Get good. कल 9 बजे पहुंचने हैं 9:30 आ जाओ मैच आ जाओ टर्मी मैच पे आ जाओ चलो कौन था ये क्या पता नहीं कौन है अच्छा ये वो होगी यार समझ गया मैं कौन है ये never mind guys never mind I know ओह तेरी अरे भाई ब्रेव क्यों गली सॉरी ओपरा क्यों गली no oh god lacking अबे वो तो वैसे ही देख रहा था मैं प्लेयर कौन आ रहे थे नॉर्मल वो वाला पांच ओबे मैंने क्या मिस कर दिया भाई मुन्ने मार रहा है केसी को नरेट क्या कर रहे हैं रेज तो बोलने की बात है सही बात है नहीं उससे मैं वो है ऑस्ट्रेलिया की है तुम्हें दिखाता हूँ अभी रुको अरे वही गिने चुने ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाली है मेरे हिसाब से वही है
Just the teeth marks left in the corpse. Down to 4 apiece. A little bit of a pause here. Maybe trying to identify where some of these players may be. They've got to have a good idea.
They're taking the TP, right?
Obe!
What was that?
1 HP something.
Full troll mode here in this anti-eco. Left one posted up here, Mind Freak. Try and police these weapons. I mean, it's operator, so you know KC.
Oh my god.
Narrate the first.
अभी देखना देखो फ्लो में आंदो मैच के.
Mind Freak's position. Yeah, KC now.
They're running. They're just
thinking better of it.
I mean, the guy's the Iceman. You know what I mean? You don't mess with that kid. He's just wild. But at this point, you're looking for silver linings and small bonuses.
केसी ने बाइंड नहीं लिया होगा. बाइंड कैसे आ गया? केसी बाइंड खेलती ही नहीं है.
Really committing on this one. Flash's turn. Something's
Oh.
A little bit of a heal here. So ult's going to come in, but they're going to run low on time. Keep your mind towards Monye as well. Still in the case. Still in the mix.
Obe.
He has been a monster so far.
Why? Wait, उन्हें पता कैसे नहीं था?
Finds him and they seem so confused.
KC were looking towards showers.
They had no idea. Thrifty. They get away with daylight.
मैं अनलकी हूँ क्या? मेरे आते हार गया.
At that moment, you're questioning the investment of the Seekers from Magnum, but KC explode back into this retake.
Hey, they needed that, Mike.
Stop the momentum.
मेरे आते कैसी खेलती है अच्छा.
Full commits. Coming out, yeah, Tomazi, I don't know. Maybe the position wasn't relayed, but he's looking towards bench and showers here. Luckily, a second teammate to pick up the slack.
अगला लोटस एसेंट स्प्लिट बैन कर दिया. ब्रूस सैचल आपका. भाई शायद मेरे में दिक्कत है.
Fast flank coming through as well. You can see already progress outside of hookah.
Obe.
Paperwork's got to be conscious of that now.
Backstab देख backstab.
Needs to be careful because they've already slipped a little ahead. He might have heard Forsaken and he definitely knows someone's close by. So
Forsaken, what? He just stepped out of the cove.
Oh god, a device right here. They got
oh भाई.
Look, you can try and play PaperX in their own game, but they are damn good at it themselves. And there was just some audacious moments in that.
कार्टर्स की भाई पैम्सी तो भाई पैम सीएस की भी इतनी बढ़िया थी. वो था ना इनह्यूमन रिएक्शन जब वो हीको ने मारता है. भाई पैम्सी बहुत अच्छी है यार. क्या कास्टिंग करती है. बढ़िया लगती है इसकी मेरे को. अब नहीं आएगा पैकेट लॉस.
Facing the showstopper, you hear the audio cue. This one sings a tale as old as time.
अबे ऑप कैसे कर रहा है भाई अटैक. नो वो मेरे को लगा मारेगा.
This is the sort of thing that you want to see from KC. You don't want to see them lose an opening duel and then back up and look to absorb a site here. That's just not going to work versus PaperX. They're allowed to execute onto you. I mean, Mind Freak's going to find himself a wide open A site here. The penny,
yeah, the penny has dropped.
रीडिंग हो गई इनकी.
Like I said, Tomazzi's posted up, almost posturing a little bit that, yeah, we're going to fight for this site. PaperX at another situation. They're not willing to show any respect.
Spike plant.
Molly here, orbital strike, showstopper, plenty.
यहाँ से पीछे से मार्क करेगा पक्का.
Possibilities here. I was just wondering actually, his flanks gonna come through, but yeah, Mindfreak's
got to be aware of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he dropped the smoke. He's back on it now. Yeah. He's gonna look to orbital strike just for the dog.
He's
cooked it.
Not ideal in that, and now Forsaken gonna play forward. PaperX still starting to drive, going alive.
मोने गुस्से में है. मोने का ना.
Send him back in. Carmine caught a try.
पैकेट लॉस हटाया. अरे वो मैं ऐसे ही आ रहा हूँ यार. नहीं आता यूजुअली मेरा. दिक्कत सही है भाई. टीवी की वजह से ही आती है ज़्यादातर. पापा उस पे देख रहे थे 5G वाले पे ना, और स्ट्रीम करते हुए नहीं होता. मैच में आ रहा था.
Able to punish this aggression down A short time and time again.
क्यों आता है?
Otherwise, Carmine Core, their backs will be breaking from the heavy heart just looking at that.
जब टीवी में चलता है तो टीवी बंद कर दो. नहीं आता फिर. मेरा तो ये फंडा है.
And again, a little bit of variation coming out from PaperX here, looking at trying to adjust towards that B side, or at least an early indication of it. TP committed to, it looks like. Actually, no, going to decide to back away.
Now they're almost faking that they've rotated, creating all this pressure, dumping all this util, but all it is a switch up towards B long. But Magnum's going to snip out.
That was good information there in the Seekers, but they are going to go on this. Wait to see Monnier die.
Sorry.
They've got to know that Tomasi is still around as well. You can see the layers there.
कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है. डबल अल्ट हो गई. ओए.
Place their banner on this site. Look for the flanks, look for the pressure on the back lines. We need that plant to come in, so at least a little bit of safety for PaperX, which they've got right about now.
मोन्ने भाई रुक जाओ.
It gets dicey.
Three coming through hookah.
Got to invest that little bit of utility to try and keep them further away.
Look at the reflank though. Look at Device position.
वो भाई 2 किल आ सकते हैं.
Timing, can something hold him back? Can he buy a couple of seconds here? That's all he needs, a couple of seconds. So well. He does catch Shin.
Nice, 4 सेकंड.
It is just methodical in approach.
दोनों भाई लो. 1-1 HP है. भाई.
It's just Magnum left alive.
ओ भाई. अबे आज के मैच क्या है भाई? इतने डोमिनेटिंग क्यों है? केसी को डोमिनेट क्या कर रहे हैं भाई?
I mean, it's almost automatic as soon as the Trailblazer comes down long. Yeah. PaperX know they have to be explosive. Capitalize on that timing, get ahead of the rotation of KC. Again, you can't even really fault. You look at the minimap here, and when PaperX freeze on this first wave, the first pressure out towards hookah, they know that PaperX are trying to find these timings. I think now PaperX starting to play with that a little bit. It's the pressure now. KC is so desperate to get a round win up. They want to be so active around the map that they create these holes.
Valo dead game. अबे कैसे dead है भाई? चल तो रही है. Valo तो dead ही नहीं हो सकता है. वैसे watch मैच देखने तो सब आ जाते हैं. इंडिया में नहीं यार, बहुत लोग देख रहे हैं. खेलते भी बहुत लोग ही हैं. अबे सुशांत सिंह भाई, प्रोफेशनल वाला सीन कह रहे हो ना, तो फिर देखो मैं क्या ही बोलूं. मतलब इतना लोग देखता ही नहीं है, इतनी कम वॉचिंग आती है.
They still have a chance here, PaperX. They're up against pistols. What is going on? Something just flew in. Narrate got a
ये क्या हो रहा है?
What the hell just happened?
Almost Mastercard thrifties you'll ever see. Something seemingly thinking he has double the range with a shorty. Very bizarre.
अवनी तो कहते रहते हैं. अवनी भाई सही बोलता है जो ही बोलता है. पर मैं तो साथ में कोडिंग भी कर रहा हूँ, उससे तो चलता होगा ना भाई। शूट आउट सर, शूट आउट भाई, शूट आउट टू यू आयुष भाई, आप मारे जाओगे। बिग फैन, रियल। ओबे अब तुझे पता लग गया मैं कोडिंग करता हूँ। गिव अवे कर दो अपने लैपटॉप का, गिव अवे। नरे टॉपिंग भी करता है। अरे कनूंजा भाई की आदत है।
Do have a third member here. Narrate has come across with the operator just to hold elbow. Yeah. Problem for Shin. I don't think he's going to take too much damage here and actually rewarded.
Still trying to keep.
अबे एक बुलेट लग जाओ।
Spam a little bit of a shot going astray is going to at least drop the pit for them. That's a plant now. Mind freaking divine. Ult going to be invested from Martin. He's going to try and lead the way.
क्या कर सकते हैं भाई, ऐसे ही लोग हैं। कनूंजा भाई भी ना। ओबे कह रहे हैं यार डिफेंस साइड में इतने से राउंड निकल पाए हमसे बस। निकाल लेगा। ओबे ये क्या गई ये राइस ने अभी माउस के साथ। यू वालों को एनए के प्लेयर की जरूरत पड़ेगी भाई जितने निकले वैसे, और फिर एनए से ही हार गई। लाइक कर दो भाई, लाइक कर दो।
The superstar, I guess, overall so far here in Madrid. 4K seat.
Guys, a standout player.
स्प्लिट देखना है यार, स्प्लिट बढ़िया लगता है। पेपर एक्स का एक एसी का ही बढ़िया है। भाई फ्लैश नहीं हुआ। मैं छोड़ हो गई।
Boombot to follow, but there is a squad of 3 staring him down. The Cove is keeping them safe. Another satchel, another denial. Rotations are coming.
भाई प्लांट करने दे यार।
This is really good from Narrate. Again, from that capability before to this, but the rotation, Mike, they're taking the TP. They've got a free site.
स्मोक हो जाएगा, स्मोक हो जाएगा। स्मोक कर भाई, स्मोक कर। है ही नहीं, स्मोक ही नहीं है।
Spawn here, Narrate, does he consider the possibility?
He's got to, right? We've seen this.
He's so conscious of taking that TP.
बे नहीं भाई 2v2 आ जाएगा, 2v2 आ जाएगा। हीलिंग आ जाएगी अभी। हीलिंग आ गई, हीलिंग आ गई। हीलिंग कर दो, दवाई भाई, दवाई लगा दो। ओए दिखा, दिख गया, दिख गया, दिख गया।
Over towards long. Spots divide. They've seen both of the players. Can they close down on them though? They're not going. Oh, they do swing ahead. I mean, it's Paper X and apparently Carmine Core just about back in this, Mike.
Something unfortunately locked out the side.
कमाल है भाई, कमाल है।
No real possibility.
लॉक इन कर रही है क्या फिर अब KCB?
Hate to say that at an 8-4 scoreline. A recovery nonetheless for Carmine Core. See if the approach continues here for Paper X.
हेल्थ भी नहीं थी समथिंग, तो इसको हील के साथ में खेलता भाई के।
Apply that same sort of aggression once again, Lauren.
ओबे
Can they keep it up? Can they keep that tempo up? Carmine Core.
इनके बीच कुछ गलत चल रहा है। इनके बीच कुछ गलत चल रहा है।
That is the question that is on our minds because it started off quite nicely for Paper X. They were able to
गेको वाला दिला दो 55। गेको वाला 55 चाहिए भाई, रेंज करवा दो। अबे ये किसी भाई मैं कोई साइड नहीं लेना चाहता इस मैच में क्योंकि मेरा दिल कह रहा है कि पेपर है जीते बट मेरा मन कह रहा है कि केसी जीते क्योंकि हर एक रीजन की एक टीम होगी
good adaptation from KC, but it was only towards the end that they really figured it out, and this guy was such a big problem to solving that.
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. It looks like we're going to talk about Monia every single day. He deserves it, and I think that play was also a very, very good example. Low buy, you know, because it's a bonus. You have the ability to float them. That's exactly what you need to do on the side of KC. By the way, I was saying the Reyna not completely sold, and I forgot for 1 second that it is something, and he only needs to be on the operator. So of course, I'm still looking at him for this defense side.
तुम्हारे सबसे बेस्ट ऑपरेटर कौन चलाता है? मन्ने की शक्ल मैच नहीं होते। अरे भाई बड़ी बात है तुम्हारे सबसे बढ़िया ऑपरेटर कौन चलाता है? मेरे हिसाब से समथिंग ही चलाता है ऑपरेटर तो सबसे बढ़िया। टेंजी बहुत अच्छी चलाता है बट समथिंग तो हर समय चला रहा होता है। डार्क सर्कल आ गए भाई के।
Two ways to put it, but Carmine Core have clawed their way back. They found a rhythm, they found a solution, and he got them 4 rounds in pocket. But Mike, do you reckon they can hold on to this?
हो टाइम देखा 130 पे किया।
It depends really on PaperX's willingness to apply the same sort of pressure here.
ओबे
I thought he was just sat onto site here, Forsaken with the
ये भी पुश करेगा क्या?
Look at the flank. There's 4
It's so fast.
Tomasi's got to have heard. Yeah, he's heard all of this. He's just trying to keep his head down, trying not to be spotted.
What the hell?
Oh, it's the Lear. Oh, no.
भाई
Sweep through them in the blink of an eye.
अबे क्या है भाई?
Absolutely shut down on this pistol round.
इनने ये सोचा कि चलो एक बंदा मारा है ठीक है और बाकी सब चलो फ्लैंक पे चलते 4 बंदे।
I mean, credit to Forsaken. Not only does he find the kill, but stays alive long enough where this 4-man flank. I mean, isn't really necessary. It's OTT if anything.
Yeah. I was the Lear coming in, and it just screwed him over, didn't it?
1 enemy remaining.
Just peeks out. Device still back here because he's knocked through. The Trailblazer comes through, opens up the first 3 players of PaperX to come in. Tomazi just peeks out of the wrong second.
Got a force. Coming through. Something on the dodge. Devastating. I know there's going to be more pressure, but he's down low, so he's got to be a little bit careful on that HP. Martin is already back by sight, but something still doing damage. Gets the heal off and goes in.
अबे क्या कर रहा है भाई?
Just about staying.
Chill कर.
Give themselves just a little bit of safety to get a plant.
Flank once again from short. You see it's been pinged out here.
Oh.
The awareness is from KC. Magnum reflanking it. Monya, he doesn't catch them though, ahead of the smoke falling.
This timing could be awful. Yeah, that's Monya dead. There's nothing he could have done. Mind Freak now. Sitting pretty. What can you do against 3? 2 towards Lamps. There's too many bodies there. Carmine Core. There we go. Finding a little bit
Carmine Core.
themselves, but I was a bit worried that honestly something's judged to be enough.
Yeah, I mean it's scrappy as anything to kick this off. Something again, I don't know what range he thinks he has with shotguns. He's jumping out here trying to find another kill. A round 2 flip here for KC.
Nice! Let's go, boys. Insane comeback starts now, yeah?
Okay. Well, he's called it.
All right.
He's called it.
God, why would you say that? That's literally how you just get swept.
Had so many caught in 4K moments at this event.
Oh dear.
Oh my God! Start हो गया लमो.
It's Martin to fall first.
No.
Oh no.
भाई.
They've got 2 bands.
So yeah, massive equipment advantage here.
Yep.
Monya and Forsaken understand the shotgun range a little better than something.
He's just ambitious. He's just a little ambitious.
You can't fault ambition.
Oh, there you go. Now there's the pause because you can see the
kind of stuck.
Just like, what the hell's gone on? They don't have a beat on the map either, right? Like the A site's completely unknown. There could be a flank on the way. They have no clue.
Well, these are the sort of compositions that this sort of playstyle from PaperX does run rampant. With no sentinel, there's so many question marks.
The Bucky. How does one feel about the Bucky?
I mean, if they're playing in long, they know to try and avoid the danger zone here, but Monyet, chance to make something happen potentially here. I mean, he's inside the smoke. He's got the paint shell out. You can deny the plant at least.
I just feel like something's going to go wrong. I've just got a weird feeling. Okay, went to
Tomasi eats that.
Center of tube. Heal considered, but they don't really have the foundations for. Oh God! No! Surely not. Magnum, please. What's going on? Monyet isn't going to get away with this.
Nah.
Going to do it. Magnum there grips hold of the round.
Thank God the right click of the Bucky is useless now because Shin's down at 8 HP.
Oh, I got scared.
There's a timeline where those right clicks are one-shotting Magnum.
Beaming him. We're good. This is fine. Something is such a nuisance as well. You can see him just playing out perfect.
The timing of this first kill as well.
Oh, done to him. After almost being cursed. In the but we do see the buy coming out now. It's going to be huge.
Seeker's available here for Carmine. Other side thinks something. Let's have his ultimate. Early showers control for KC. We're expecting more aggression. I mean, 30 seconds.
क्या हो रहा है? भसड़ हो गई. ओए, भाई. वो कनेक्ट हो जाता ना. वो कनेक्ट हो जाता भाई.
Okay, so Tomasi has space on B, right? He's got them B site.
Problem is Shin has about as much HP as he did last round.
Oh God!
Tomasi trying to make something work, make this a little more comfortable. Shin will fall as well.
ये प्रैक्टिस करके आते हैं W कहाँ से कहाँ तक करने में. दूसरी टीम स्ट्रैट प्रैक्टिस करती है हमें भागना कहाँ से कहाँ तक है और कितने टाइम पे.
Run your mind back. It was also Monyet at the same time taking this space, and it just completely caught off Narrate.
One enemy remaining.
You say don't die, fish. You say don't die.
Again, it's like you see what 3 potentially 4 people on this showers bench.
अबे ये क्यों गुस्सा है? अब क्या हो गया भाई? अबे sorry. ये क्यों गुस्सा हो जाता है?
From PaperX, and their ability to punish defaults like this it's just. It's tough to watch, at the same time, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is. And the question is, how much can Forsaken hold on to? He's being hounded, because the hunting squad is on the way, but they've completely lost the A side. Fortunately, he's going to be trying to keep himself alive. Perfectly, but Narrate is there to try and keep this in. The spike's in CT. What?
They didn't check close right.
ये तो अबे
off the back of that now, position noted, but that spike's still in CT. They might make a run for it towards B. They don't know yet. They don't know how this fight's going to favor. How does it tip the scales? You still have Monyet in this position. What is this round? What is that shot? He shouldn't be getting 2.
It's got Seekers to deal with as well. Freaks here as well. It's an open plant.
They have no idea.
No.
Creeping around the corner as Narrate now called upon. This guy is damn good, but he is going to need a worldy round here.
Oh no way.
Paint shell back on Divine. Dip it down, has to slip away. And now Divine 1v1, no flash, nothing. 5 bullets. Got him.
Bye.
After Narrate was this close to getting KC back in this game, but it is going to be 11 carved on the board for PaperX.
Trading blows now back and forth. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And the fact that Mindfreak's in a position here to punish Shin. Narrate, unfortunately, again, it feels like this is a free site. So he has the time and the space to get towards long, find a more comfortable angle.
भाई पूरा मुंह कांप जाता है यार प्लेयरों का.
We almost made that happen.
Such a volatile game between these two. Yeah. Like, normally in these rounds, my mind drifts a little, but there's still stingers out, there's still sheriffs, there's still a couple of ults that could potentially come into play.
See both teams capitalizing rounds like this. And Monya's here with a judge. Mindfreak's just farming on B side.
Oh dear. Can't wait for the replay of that one. What the hell just happened?
It was a Prius moment. We might see the end of the round though.
Oh, bhai.
Forsaken. Sharp to it. Magnum now left to try and recover. He's got another one. A third on the round for him.
Yeah, it's been enough to call in the ult, right? Like, this is enough.
Can he get through? He slipped through the spawn.
He has.
They haven't spotted him. They didn't actually see him on the cross.
That's huge. It gives him a little bit of time, right? Like, it's not a lot, but it's enough that he might be able to get a plant down. They have no idea. He could be an elbow by them. You know, they have no idea where he is. This is massive for Magnum.
What position does he take up? He's going to push back towards spawn. And actually, Paperx are splitting. He might have timing here on something.
But does something slow down? Does he wait? Does he try and play this out? He's going to note Forsaken, obviously. Doesn't know about something yet, so he's going to have to just make the best educated guess he can. Is this a good enough position? Might almost help him a little. Something does have full kit though, so that Lear, he's going to know it now. Which way? You've got to gamble. Did something note him? He's looking this way. Magnum, can you clutch this up? Can you do what Narrate couldn't? You got one to the right, one to the left. You can't do it. Forsaken there. Well played by Paperx. That is 12.
Map point on the board. Right down to the wire once again. KC still, I mean, scoreline aside, keeping these rounds close, Lauren.
Yes.
Like I said, trading blow for blow here. Enemy down. Yeah, farming. Farming hookah. Purchase will come back for Carmine Core. Showstopper to work with. One away from the pit, two off the Seekers, so some tools potentially here. Can they keep map 1 alive?
Because we have seen that Paperx will run, 3 men down, down B long, but we are seeing one yet. This time actually pushing up towards A short, holding that judge. How long does he stick around? I think he's deciding he's committing towards it. Divide. Not actually relinquishing the angle. Stuck around on that, deciding not to fall back. There are 2 players behind him, Forsaken being one, and Mindfreak the other.
You see, almost try and
ऐसे नहीं कि अब तक 7 घंटे तो खेल लिया होगा तू. हाँ. और जब से मैं आया हूँ तब से लेके अब तक कितने खेला है?
And their backs.
This is a disaster in the making. They have no idea.
No, he's looking back.
Great turn, but it doesn't matter. The executioner's here. Mindfreak gonna make something out of that. 2 big kills found, but they have a player advantage for Carmine Core. 3 to the 2.
They have a pit to work with though. Tomazi can lock down this site. Monyet gonna be able to find an upgrade here. Something's got ahead of the smoke.
He's in, and he's got one. Martin's gone. He couldn't do any more, but he's bought enough time for at least Monye to get close by, get a rifle into his hands. One on sight, one towards
Oh my God!
Monye unleashing fury, but he couldn't find Tomasi. Carmine Core live for another round. Barely alive, but they do it.
2 examples of that energy being their downfall. A little overzealous. The approach from both Something and Monyet. Punished here. KC will find their 7th.
One enemy remaining standing.
Regardless, so they are both looking absolutely electric.
Reminds me of Mini. Do you know what? I miss Mini.
I do miss Mini.
I wish we could bring him out to these events. You know what I mean?
Just still get him on a React camera.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be great. I think that's just called a watch party, but still. He's not figured that one out yet, which is great. So maybe we can still steal him. As it stands, though, Paperx still on the very verge of tipping the scales. This round, though, they are coming in less equipped. They do have stingers, sheriffs. They still have that rifle on something.
I mean, tools to work with as well. Showstopper potentially if one yet finds a kill.
You've almost got the full deck of ults on the other side, though, right? You've got everything there. There's a full play stack.
Here.
Now, traditionally, we've seen a couple of variations, but it's mostly Divide playing towards long, so maybe just him showing his hand isn't going to give away too much. That, however, should ring a couple alarm bells, maybe hoping to catch him a little further up towards long, but Carmichael patiently waiting.
Dog, not sure how many it would have spotted there. Seeker's in response here from Magnum. Everybody huddled towards his position. Smoke's about to drop here. Monye caught in the open. Catch Forsaken as well. Traded.
Bit of damage here, and Device still around. Wait for something though. He's the final boss, and TP comes in. Yeah, nice work from Carmine Core. Quick pivot. Something is trying to hunt them at a similar pace. He is getting to spawn. He might get around the back of Shin here, depending on the timing, but still, they're going to get the plant. I don't think anyone's close enough to stop that now, so that's going to go down. But the back line, who wins this out?
I think it's going to catch Shin here. Orbital Strike committed.
Divide goes down. Mindfreak did get the trade, but look at this. Something now getting closer, down to 2 on either side. Mindfreak still only with that Sheriff, but it might be enough. Martin waiting in showers. He's going to take down Mindfreak. It's all on one. Something. Can he make something out of this? An incredibly hard round to try and break back into now with these positions.
Turn back into the flash. No swing from Martin.
Double swing. Yeah. Lovely work there in the post plant from Carmine Core. They're keeping this game close, Mike. They're building back now.
A spring in their step. 4 rounds still separate them. Frugal from both sides here in terms of investment of ultimates. Surprised to see the Orbital Strike come out there. PaperX must have felt pretty good about things. Alex, not so much.
Penn took a beating.
Yeah. But ultimate's still available. Seekers and the Showstopper being the headliners for PaperX. Still got that pit for Tamazi. Martin now try and fish out some information here on A site.
Let's see. He's blocking him, just spotted him out there. How much can he get away with though? Can he slip through towards CT, but all eyes on him, but it's Narrate from up above. Taking down Forsaken and something. Sight's now open. Martin not going to be able to convert that kill, however. And they're getting quite paranoid of the flank. They're going to pop the ult as well on top of it. Viper's pit to try and secure this. Monye with the first man forward, but Narrate with the spray just connects well. This might be enough.
A Showstopper gone. PaperX's opportunities now dwindling. You can see that. Have to consider the save here. So well coordinated. The value amongst these two, Narrate and Martin, to relay this information. Right, the sort of Yoru execute that PaperX famed this sort of composition for. A taste of their own medicine here. Won't be able to string together much of a purchase after this. But 2 rifles nonetheless.
क्या हो गया?
Won't be able to string together much of a purchase after this. But 2 rifles nonetheless.
ट्रेन की तरफ से हो गया है.
It's about a PaperX timeout with what happened. It's about a PaperX timeout with what happened yesterday. How quickly things turned around after calling a timeout.
True.
Carmine Core have built their way back into this map. Another buy round and a chance to tie things up. Force the overtime. And not many tools at their disposal now. They're previously pretty frugal in terms of the investment, but a saving grace here that PaperX will only bring in 2 rifles, a couple of Sheriffs, a Stinger, a Showstopper. Definitely a concern.
See if they're up to anything, if we're seeing that stack anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something goes walkabouts. Him joining them over towards B might be somewhat indicative of it, but again, just kind of scraping together a buy to try and even out the economy a little bit, getting what they can. Something's been a little off on his purchases in that regard, but still, Martin trying to test. He's going to get himself the orb there. Patient beginnings. Does that TP get taken on the other side as well? Looks like it might be if they do spot a player, but as it stands, It's only Martin considered.
Was faking a little bit here, but that should be very indicative of what's going on. KC can read that correctly. Still happy to let the clock tick away. So they might pivot back towards an A site hit here. A deep smoke from Mindfreak, potentially slowing things down. Nothing going to be found off the showstopper except for information. KC now dial up the pace towards A.
Yeah, they've got to get moving and they've got to clear. Done by Narrate. That's a tick in the box now. Can they take towards the side? Mindfreak is waiting. Quick little heal, going to get them topped up here. Flank is on the way, but that's going to be watched. Shin is on flank duty. He's got to catch Monye. CT has the rest of the team coming back through. Martin clears Mindfreak. And now Divide something shoulder to shoulder.
We spotted him, Monye saw him.
Spotted. He's going to be able to... Did he just get seen on the other side?
Yeah, he got seen on the other side.
Okay, so still, that's threat noted. Monye should be dead here. Yeah, 3-man squad waiting for him. Done. Quick turn of attention, because look who's on the side. Device now here. Tomasi handles it well. Something can do nothing about this. Too many bodies, too little time. Carmine Core. They're back in the game. Double digits made. Maybe OT is now on the horizon.
Win out this buy round here. I mean, especially with the showstopper being invested. This Paperex just is itching to make something happen in this round.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, it'll be tough behind this. That could give KC access to overtime.
Nice, let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Forsaken, one of his ultimate, something, Empress. Nothing else really here. The TP from Shin. Well, the TP from Shin's going to get right behind this. He's committed to it.
Oh!
No! Tomasi and Martin get caught on the cross.
अबे ये क्या है? 4-man super rush.
That spike is in a disastrous place. Shin doesn't get noted by the flash, but they're so aware. Monye sweeps back through.
Oh, it's just one of those rounds where Paperex decide to walk on you. Round 23, by the way.
अरे 9 word अब चला है.
Ridiculous.
वाह.
Let your foot off the gas for a minute.
A second. You thought maybe, oh, we could just cross up towards Hookah. No, no, you absolutely couldn't. And that might be the start and the end of this map. That spike being lost there. Because they can go back to their default.
I mean, I love the way the Paperex have just disengaged from this as well. So they know KC have so many question marks here. If they have to shift walk around the entire
निकाल सकता है अभी भी. कुछ भी करते हैं भाई KC वाले भी.
Limited options.
It looks like Narrate be a problem. Pull rotation and pray that Magnum can outdo Forsaken. He's got one flash and a slow rotation coming his way from Monye as well, so he's in a real pickle here. Forsaken has the angle.
Chalo. GG.
Spike now left. It's all on one. Narrate, can you do anything? Monye is getting audacious.
GG.
Paperex get to 13 and claim map 1.
Great resilience shown here from
Next map पे आ गए हैं.
Have to mount a comeback versus a team like Paperex, where every round feels demoralizing. Feels as if you're just getting out-fragged, basically.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Welcome to the big league, Carmine Core. 10 rounds was good. 13 was much better.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
gives you wings.
Tengo muchas cosas que decirte ahora, pero antes de empezar quiero que le demos sin freno. Si tú quieres podemos empezar desde cero. Sabes que contigo yo me atrevo y quiero más y más. Y poder soñarte y verte al despertar y volar. Porque solo tú me llevas a otro lugar. Quiero más, solo dime, baby, que no va a pasar. Quiero más de ti. Solo quiero más de ti. Hey, hey, no. Solo quiero más de ti. Sabes que quiero dejarme llevar. Conmigo lo malo se te va a olvidar. Contigo me voy, no miro el reloj, sin mirar atrás. Permiso y el vuelo, que este es un viaje perfecto. Ignoramos los defectos, todo lo que dice el resto, todo lo que dice el resto. Tenemos algo perfecto, ignoremos los defectos, todo lo que dice el resto. Solo quiero más de ti. Hey, hey, no. Solo quiero más de ti.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Coach Alex of PRX. Now that map was quite close. It's interesting because PRX has been described as like having 5 IGLs. So how do you as a coach manage to wrangle all that?
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the way we practice. I think the most important thing is trust. Like, we trust each other a lot, and anyone can take over anytime they want. And we also do a lot of work trying to align, you know. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, so far so good on this strategy. So let's see if PRX can close out this one.
It definitely does come through with this team. We've always talked about it with PaperX. They're a squad that always just kind of like rise in momentum. They communicate with one another. Their comms oftentimes don't even lean on just one individual. For me, it kind of sounds like a Halo match sometimes, where they're all just yapping at the same time. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it is wild. The first half of this game to me was quintessential PaperX. They were out there PaperXing all over them, dragging KC down into the chaos. And that's what I was worried about for such a young team. Playing a squad like this for the first time, them dragging you into that chaos, your comms getting muddled, you experiencing something you haven't really played against before, and PaperX thriving in that. And that was the case for quite a while. But I think we really saw a step up from both these teams to be forced to play a lot more strategically, and actually to Carmen Core managing to gain some control in the second half.
And loving those small micro plays that we love PaperX for. We're talking about the Reina denying those trade-ins is something that she can do so easily, and it fits so well to PaperX, and especially to something. Some of these rounds literally made no sense, maybe.
Yeah, it was absolute chaos. But I think you're absolutely right that that's kind of what's defined Paper X for so long. But it's also true of what Karmine Corp was doing. I think a lot of the good in this map was when they were showing us these Yoru ult combos. They were setting themselves up after that. They definitely learned more how to play against Paper X. It's just that this squad built themselves such a huge buffer on that attacking side, and they're always gonna steal at least 1 or 2 rounds and a half. It's really hard to come back from a deficit against this squad.
And not only that, we saw KC actually getting lost in the sauce. We were seeing a lot of ultimates invested in just one route to make it through, as you're mentioning. The Yoru, even the Showstopper, everything being used at wrong timings. We see also Magnum struggling a little bit with his own ultimate on how and when to use it, just because of how overwhelming Paper Rex is.
And that's exactly that. They're the team who's gonna rip any hole you have in your communication, any hole you have in your practice. They're gonna rip that apart because of how chaotic they are. The question now, going into the rest of the series for me, is whether this team for Karmine Corp can wrangle control of this one, because Lotus, our next map, it feels like for them, that is their comfort zone, and I don't feel like these little combos, these alt combos that we talk about for Paper X are as strong on this next map.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I do want to know what the coach of Karmine Corp has to say. We have Eng standing by with Mika.
Hey guys, Mika here, and now I'm with Coach Eng of KC. Now, Eng, Magna mentioned earlier that PRX can be a team that is pretty annoying to deal with. So I want to know what they were doing exactly that was so difficult to deal with, and how you guys were able to mitigate that as the side switch.
First of all, they are an amazing team, really, with amazing playstyle, a very unique playstyle. So I don't know what to say, to be honest, because of to be honest, it's a pleasure to play against them. Really, we're learning a lot from this game. So yeah, I don't know, like, but what can I say? It's hard to read them because of this like unique style, yeah. And I don't know what to say, to be honest, but we will try our best on the second map. So yeah.
That was such a wholesome answer. So let's get to it. Second map.
It almost felt like Coach Eng Kakuka was a little speechless there as well, because he has expressed praise for a lot of the players that they've met on that stage. But there is something unique and special about this Paper X team.
Yeah, exactly. Eng can be as wholesome as he wants, but he's going to need much more if he wants to face off Paper X now in Lotus. This is the map chosen by KC, and maybe one of the reasons is what happened yesterday when Paper X lost this map. But again, I think it's going to be a lot of what happened on that bind just replicated, and a lot of what happened against Heretics happening again on this Lotus. A mind freak that doesn't respect any timings, any position, that's just going to push through, and a lot of crazy and set plays again.
Yeah, it is absolutely a map where Paper X does that same style. But for Karmine Corp, we have to talk about the history of them on this map. They've been playing the Fnatic comp. They beat Fnatic on this map. They have beat pretty much every top team they've gone up against on Lotus. Here, this is where Magnum tends to put on a masterclass. Their attack side, decision-making, the way that they call is always near perfect, quite honestly. And I actually think their style, if Paper X is going for these forward plays, they don't have the Reyna to combo. They don't have the same kind of util setups. It's crazy that I'm just talking about Reyna as like the big util agent, but they don't have those same tools to set up these combos like they do on some of these other maps. So I think this will be a bit of an easier time for KC to punish when they're playing their attack.
So you mentioned the Lotus situation and them being so good at this map, but I also have to say in the back of my mind that if Paper X comes out just like they did on Bind with a big lead, and then you're like, oh my god, we were supposed to be good here. I get a little worried about the young team on that stage in that situation.
And not only that, we were talking about how Monier is doing great in this tournament, how today specifically he's performing super well. And he's going to be leading that race onto Forsaken.
I mean, we saw Forsaken's debut on race last night.
Loved it. I mean, well, debut, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this is a crazy switch to make, but it's Paper X. Rules don't matter. Engines aren't real.
I was gonna say
it's Paper X. This is it for Karmine Corp. This is a team who went on a run in EMEA. From Melons to Madrid, they have done something no one could have ever expected of them. And now they're here in an elimination match, a game away from going home empty-handed. These are all young players. for all of them, this is the biggest match, maybe except Magnum Bay back when, but it's a very different time. It's now him as a leader, and they need to come back here.
And for PaperX, it's quite the opposite. They need to close this in a very good fashion if they want to be contenders for those playoffs. Gen G's already waiting on the other side. It could be a great year for Pacific, especially if EMEA goes home this early.
Well, it's now time to see what this Carmine Core team is truly made of against the game and ready PaperX. To send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much, and yeah, this is putting question marks between us, right? Because that composition coming out from PaperX has surprised you and me.
Yeah, not so much the swap, but it's the fact we have the Astra in here. I mean, we're still running with the Sky on PaperX. Again, there's some dedication towards keeping that here.
Yep.
But it's the Astra. You can switch Mindfreak and Monya between. If this is just something that they pulled out after not being happy with the Lotus here in Madrid, a real head scratcher here to see how much because Astra has a lot of utility. Obviously, open up the possibilities.
Pansy and Hypoc.
Especially on a map like Lotus, a three-site map. PaperX early on probe towards B, but didn't really catch wind of anything on the other side of that.
मेरे को भी शूट आउट चाहिए. ओके, आपको भी शूट आउट. आपके 20,000 और फॉलोअर बढ़े. मेरे को ही दे दो.
Oh dear. Forsaken's in a bit of a tricky position, but Monier's got the shot on lock. Gonna take down Forsaken with a follow-up. PaperX just brawl out on the site and win out on the site. Heartbreak for KC there as Narrate just drifting on through. How does this happen?
Beautiful setup here.
बड़ी खुश हूँ.
In between the two mollies placed on site. I mean, it's good to really get Eng's insight there. Call it insight. Like saying, really, what do you do? How can you prep? There's not an awful lot you can do other than the age-old kind of play your own game sort of approach. But then when you come out here and there's a different composition, there's another set of question marks. Will not PaperX really even rely on these agents to excel in terms of utility or continue to run it down? Forsaken and something on your front line, you've got to feel very confident regardless of who's on what behind that.
We're looking for that 4-play stack here. Feels like that flash was enough that PaperX don't like what they're seeing, and it's actually quite well timed that they drift away. They will have a completely open A site. They'll note the lack of utility after last round Magnum was there. I mean, it's not the biggest indicator, but now the fact that Forsaken has gone to the back of the site should be away. Narrate though outdoes it with the classic. I do not know, but he'll be happy enough with it.
Sentinels classic क्यों है उस पे?
It is just classics as well for KC. There's nothing beyond that. There's not a frenzy, there's not a ghost, there's nothing. It is purely classic, so something going to take up the test now as well.
I think they're a little bit conscious, yeah, who's post off on Heaven. Now identifying the judges there. Don't expect too many bodies to funnel in this way. Narrate punished on the second.
Monier's going to buy some time.
Yeah, a lot of time bought here.
And something's on the case here. Just
अच्छा एक्स्ट्रा तो मोन्या भी खेलता है.
Opting to try and clear, to farm through, to try and hunt down these final players, but Magnum again with a connection.
क्या?
Can they make this really costly? It looks like they're going to try and exit through CT, which is the right call. Monier going to double around, spots them out, but hey, Carmine Core making this, cost a little bit. Mindfreak and Divide do manage to escape. That Bulldog's still in play.
I mean, I think they only lose the judge though, if I'm not mistaken.
Just got taken back in too, but yeah.
Didn't see exactly what the purchase was, but regardless, something straight onto the operator. So another question mark in the mix here for Carmine Core. It doesn't really even have the benefit of having kind of on the back. Has to make this work. Has Divide got anything? Oh, well, Sheriff now.
क्या लिए स्नॉप ले ली बढ़िया. ऑप से तो इसका दिन शुरू होता है.
No resistance from KC on the other side, unless Magnum was spotted.
Yeah. He was jump spotting that corner earlier.
Yeah.
Op life.
Might have to be taken away from the repertoire. I'm worried that someone else might be going to go. Narrate's very nearby to this. They've noted that operator. No bullets have been fired, and if they'd seen anything, you can't do it. You can see them trying to toy with it. Daring anyone to try and peek a little further forward, but No one is. Good control being shown by Carmine Corp. Mindfreak getting very close. Should have been considered here by Narrate, and he has been. They're really putting bodies behind this.
मेहनत लग रही है. इनको बताना ही नहीं ऑप है. ट्राई हार्ड कर रहे हैं पूरा.
Cause any issues on the way in here. Narrate slowly creeping closer and closer.
तुम्हें लगता है मारेगा? होने वाला है. होने वाला है.
They're looking for a pick, but look how deep Carmine Core are sitting. They're not playing Paper X's game right now. Right call as well. Re-smoking in the spike, trying to make it across. Does anyone catch it in the heels? No, but something's cleared so deep here. They've got to be careful of door. They've got to be careful of the flank, considering how far something is cleared towards CT.
Really doing.
अब तो आना चाहिए. अरे!
A lot of questions. Need to figure this out pretty quickly.
A real exchange of utility here as the retake starts to build up. Something rattling off a couple of shots, but Forsaken in a fantastic position as well. If he can hold this down, he can become such a thorn in their side. Try and maybe double up here.
क्या हो रहा है? हो क्या रहा है? Best streamer ever. अबे. हाँ. अभी तो स्टार्ट हुआ है मैं.
Paperex will keep pushing. You give them that space, but they see it playing in spawn. They're still in buy phase with 20 seconds left on the clock here. Well, a really, really well coordinated retake. This is after there's a gravity well to slow things down just inside Link. Don't leave him hanging. Don't leave him. Oh no. Another 4K moment.
जी मोन्ये.
Yeah, this wraps.
Let's go, Mike.
अबे वहाँ तक चले जाते हैं फ्लैश.
Pace change, looking like committed control towards Mount this time as well. And yeah, look at this, very pacey.
अबे.
The first real glimpse of this C site, hadn't tested too much, and again, KC going to evacuate. Why would they stick around? They've heard enough of this. Don't need any more of it. It's going to be a plan.
Can I say who I am? Whoa. I am. Hello. QGI OP. अब तो OP हो गए हो. अगर आपको लग रहा हो ना ये फेक वॉच पार्टी है, ऑफिशियल है ये. अगर आपको नहीं पता तो परमिशन मिली थी मेरे को. सही में मेल दिखा दूं क्या आपको? ओ प्लेली. अरे क्या हो रहा है? अरे भाई कितने शॉट विफ करेगा ये आज? यार भाई वो नहीं कि शांत हो जाइए. बंदा ऑप के साथ ही खड़ा रहता है, बस खड़ा रहता है. खड़े रहेगा वहाँ पे. ओके लग गए. पेपर एक्स ही जीतेगा. मैं भी पेपर एक्स की तरफ. अगर पेपर एक्स की तरफ चाहिए तो किसकी तरफ होंगे भाई? भाई कल वाला था गेम तो पर हेरेटिक्स के अगेंस्ट मजा आ गया था. अभी भी इस पे बुली करा था इसने. लाइक कर दो, लाइक और शेयर और सब्सक्राइब कर दो, हो जाएगा. ओए नहीं. अबे वो नरेट वो यूज करता है सेंटिनल्स वाली. बाय द सिन बंडल हो गया. नेड ये स्मार्ट तो. हो जाएगा, जीत जाएगी पेपर एक्स राउंड। अबे कितने शॉट छोड़ेगा भाई, नरेट गॉड है भाई इस मैप का।
Three would be exceptional. He gets it to halfway. Oh, but Divide just goes. He's got him. This time he gets his three. Missed it on the first, but makes up for it in the second map here. The Red Bull clutch by his side.
नरेट इस मैप पे बेस्ट है। नरेट से अच्छा प्लेयर कोई नहीं है इस मैप का एक्चुअली।
Magnum with a stinger outdoes something. Like I said, another miss coming through here. Narrate, I think as soon as he identifies he's landed that headshot. Alex.
जी भाई थ्रो करते हैं ना पेपर एक्स वाले।
Not at that point where you can just swing onto them, run the clock down, force another 2 or 3 seconds off the defuse. Narrate though, flipping it on its head.
This early mountain challenge has not been going particularly well for KC. However, this time do have a little bit more, but does he get?
अबे समथिंग अभी भी ऑफ कर जिद्दी है भाई।
Over towards the A side of the map, so.
Oh,
not at all. I didn't spot the feet of Forsaken.
फीट फिटिश फाइट्स ही है। इसको जिसकी पहले दिखी वो मारेगा। पॉप आउट होने वाला है। फ्लैश बहुत गलत था, फटा ही नहीं, वॉल के उधर ही नहीं फटा। मार अल्ट खोल के मार।
Something looking to make up for what has been a dreary start for him. And that's not a bad way to begin it. And suddenly they're on red alert. This went from, okay, take a fight to, hold on, it's still something. Let's relax here a little bit. There's 2 players.
अबे भग गए, डर गए।
He wants that. He wants to take that space. Does he work out his enough?
भाई अगर ऐसा लगता है ना कि वो वॉल ओए नहीं वो आ रहा था, वॉल बैंग मार दे भाई यार।
Shin still alive. Opportunity to smoke off here, so he has to dig his heels in. Can't really reset
क्या होगा
with an open plant.
अगर एक किल और लेगा ना अल्ट करेगा।
And if Carmine Core is as disciplined as we credited them, they shouldn't give him that.
ऊपर से पहले
Smoke causes issues. Can you see under it? No, he can't.
I thought he might have had a little bit of a pixel there, but trying to play to the edge of it. Grouping up. Oh my god, he's got the pick. Hold on! Something is too much!
नहीं वही देखता।
Heads up work, holding together and getting the defuse. Scoreline all even.
भाई चांस था लग जाता।
In the early round, very early pick onto Monnier. Really hinders that sort of slow play towards a post plant. Martin though, really crispy with the operating. Something unfortunately overwhelmed a little bit here. Not to finally manage to get
Alex को दिखाएंगे अब ऐसे कर रहा।
Alex wasn't too happy.
Since Alex wasn't too happy.
Loss over on A side to Narrate. Curious if this overall is the approach that the PaperX want to take with this sort of comp switch up. The problem being Divide just becomes, I don't want to say useless, but his impact is really limited in these sort of kind of slow mid to late rounds. It's not really going to cause too much pressure unless PaperX win out early on towards Mound, early on towards Rubble, get themselves towards a site. And maybe Munya is
montage बना दी किसी ने
to kind of counterbalance that.
Potentially, but again, it's just a lot of these questions I feel like get answered with one time and practice, and you can kind of find your way to work it out. But I don't know how much they've played this. I mean, this is a new comp to to our eyes. I don't know if they've been running it behind the scenes. If this is just a very last-minute change, if there's something they thought might work. Their traditional comp wasn't going to be the answer they needed. But to change it at this point is
ये असली नाइफ का पता ग्लिच आप तेज भागते हो शायद।
To just get Forsaken on raise.
I mean, it has worked to an extent. Maybe you have to see how that works out now. As it looks a simplistic start, but a great paranoia actually should facilitate them to the site. I don't think much is going to stop them here apart from their own paint shot, but even then something fancies his go of it.
Gonna get in there with a stinger. And look at this tempo change. Look at this. No plant, but they've drawn out the lockdown so early. Now gonna go for this. Divide's gonna go through.
Yeah.
And Martin's the one to find Monnier. So that lurk's been removed. And they're gonna dive on in.
Oh, he didn't get caught with the stun!
That's
the
two!
huge!
That's two! 3 in the round! 2 off the road, and now Martin, can he do any more? He's feeling it, he wants more. He's chomping at the bit. He wants some dead.
Third map जा रहा है.
Take down for sake of it. One more, can one man do something? Has to watch as the defuse comes in. Carmine Corp all too prepared for this.
What a round for Martin again. The finest of margins to get past that Trailblazer. I'm not even sure. Did he pick up an empty stinger at the end there? The way it looked like there's a little bit of a delay, but again, KC figuring out exactly what PaperX want to do with Monya on the Astra.
फोन क्योंकि बैटरी खत्म. मैट ले लेना है हाथ में मोन्या भाई को. मोन्या भाई करेंगे एस. फ्लैश आ जाएगा अब एक.
Good to see Martin finding a bit of comfort here. He's been not quite to the extent we saw online, or at least I say online.
शिनाज दिख नहीं रहा गेम पे.
It was very much not, I wouldn't say headline. You'd give that to Narrate, but he was right underneath him, very close by. Good to see a little bit of that form starting to really kick in here for him. And a quick adjustment for PaperX, eyeing up that A site after an early test towards Mount. And away they go. Forsaken gonna be cut off at the door though. And a quick adjust. Potentially pressure, maybe gets the timing right on.
कुछ हुआ है अभी यहाँ पे बहुत तगड़ा, बहुत तगड़ी पुलिस आ रही है. अभी 5 बंदे हैं ऊपर.
Wait and see that pressure come back through.
Still not planted.
No, and something is screwed. Magnum clears him with ease, and Forsaken finally strikes. But the rest of the team took back away, but it's going on the punish towards one. They're losing out on numbers. Forsaken can only find so much impact, surely. They need to scramble away from here. The pit might almost act as a hindrance, because Mindfreak can hold this.
Now there's massive question marks outside this, but it's all 4 members of KC.
They're flying through! Martin finds Mindfreak. And that spike is over on C. It's going the longest way possible.
क्या कर रहे हैं भाई ये क्या गेम है?
Defend so much.
Divide will get Seekers off this. Still has a flash to work with.
Forsaken needs so much here. He's going to hear him this time shy. He's good for one, but Martin was so quick with the response. Divine next. In line here, jump on the first to draw the fire, falls back, flash, buys a second. They've still got to clear him. Does he get noted? Yes, he does. Oh, he's dead to rights. Carmine Core showing diligence now, starting to really get a grip on PaperX.
This is rough. Timing a little off, I guess the synergy a little off between Divine and Forsaken here. Yeah. Forsaken commits to that early peak. Yes, the showstopper. You almost want them to come into this choke point here. Out towards KC's spawn. Maybe a little bit lost in comms there, but beautiful recovery from KC. It looked like they were going to lose out initially, but Narrate's ultimate really the one to give the match back on 20 side. I'm carrying on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There.
You?
There's some temptation, but no, you're right, because look at this start. Look at Forsaken, right off the rip. Trying to get the shut Forsaken the hell up. Not even going to get a let alone the ult. And now what do? They've lost out on that early chance. You're down to 4. Something's position is going to be noted. Already early rotation from Narrate. And this map just doesn't look kind to PaperX now, Mike.
It doesn't. KC definitely in control here at the tempo. This first half. Magnum will potentially be called upon and spotted here on the cross. Something. Maybe the dash across though. Unscathed so far. One will be uncontested. One yet disconnected once again.
He's been read so often though. He's playing very late here. exceedingly late. So putting a lot of faith in the boys on the side. They can hold back this flood that's coming in right about now. 1-for-1 trade, but it's not enough considering they're down to 2. Narrate, Mindfreak, and now Monier needs to come forward here. Needs to be part of this.
After front खेल रहे हैं पहली बार.
Narrate down low. Mindfreak toying with the TP. Monier can't hit the shot on the cross, and now it's all on Mindfreak. In! What a way to come back in, Carmine Core. Get the job done. They are starting to really tip the scales here, Mike.
Paperx really struggling. This almost has sort of echoes of the approach Fnatic had versus Paperx on this map. Concede all the space, happy to play the retake, and Paperx were just left scratching their heads in that series. Carmine Court look like they've taken a leaf out of that book. I mean, typically you credit Paperx's ability to convert space into success. And this sort of play style, not really the approach to make, but Paperx really struggling. Second time round 10.
Says quite a lot, just that in a fact, right? So, again, when we talk about this map, Wise did sit quite nicely with Carmine Core. We credited them very highly on this map. This is one that kind of put
भी जाना पड़ेगा, चलता हूँ मैं, कल कंटिन्यू करता हूँ. बाय बाय.